And we are live!
They've won Tonys and Oscars and Emmys and Grammys. There's no red carpet because they're home in their jammies. From Melrose Place to Broadway to Janeway and her crew. Let Seth and James bring all the stars to you.
Anywho.
They're entertaining everyone, so who's gonna grouse? Just sit right back and you'll hear some tales on Stars in the House.
So go! Right that way. Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Do you hear us? Because we don't know if our mic is working. So I'm going to go to comments right now.
There's always like a 20-second delay.
Yeah. So
yes.
Hi, Seth and James from Donald. Donald,
very
can you hear
perfect
us?
for our first show.
Hi, Seth
in
and
the
James.
new year.
Isabel in Germany. We can hear you. Okay, great. So
yes, because we couldn't hear the intro to the song, and so we were like, "What is going on here?" And to top it all off, we've got a 25-piece orchestra right over here. We're at Carroll Studios in New York, and David Katz is off this week. He couldn't be here. And so you can imagine if we've got all these singers, we've got John LaPook for the first time. Here's what was going on. We were going to okay, Guys and Dolls, if you remember our $1 Million show, and the three of us sang. And so, of course, we asked John LaPook to sing with us. And then it was maybe 2 days later of oh, wait a minute. Dr. LaPook can do a medical break in person, something we didn't do with our $1 Million show.
Yeah, we've never done a
that was a big
break.
celebration. So this will be literally the first time that we've done a medical break in person. Dr. LaPook is right here. So, but before we get started, Seth, you want to explain to everyone now what this is?
Sure. Hi, everyone. So just in a nutshell, I was walking on the Upper West Side. I ran into a Broadway bigwig, and I was like, I'm a Broadway musician. I said, "Oh, how's it going in the Broadway musician field?" And he's like, "Oh, you have to hire diverse orchestras these days, and it's just really hard because they don't have the experience." And I was like, "Well, they don't have the experience because you've never hired them." So I was like, "It's catch-22, and you're annoying." So I was like, "We need to just give a diverse orchestra experience." What does diverse mean? When I played maybe 15 Broadway shows, basically the orchestras are 90% white and male. Very few females, very few people of color. So I was like, there are a lot of women and people of color that are great instrumentalists, and they just are not playing on Broadway for some reason. We need, basically, if you don't know, you don't get a Broadway show orchestra by auditioning. It's all through people you know. It's not like you're an actor and I'll show how great I am on my open call. You just sort of have to know somebody. So a lot of people just don't have access, but they have the talent. So this is like a year ago, I kept trying to find a venue. I finally called Mary Mitchell Campbell and Stephen Remus from MUSE, which stands for Musicians United for, I think, Social Equity. And they said, we'll help you. So Brett Macias got us a great space to rehearse at the Brearley School, which we did on Saturday. And tonight we're in Carroll Music. So what is a sitz probe? A sitz probe is the first time the actors sing through a score with the orchestra. So it's going to give the orchestra a chance to play with actual singers. And part of my idea was I said, let's get a real Broadway conductor. So we have David Chase, who actually conducted Guys and Dolls back in the 90s. He's done 1 million shows since then. And let's get real Broadway veteran players sprinkled throughout the orchestra to give everybody tips. And first I thought that was kind of just like a fun idea I had, but we had our orchestra rehearsal on Saturday and it made such a huge difference. Like our violinist was saying, everything on Broadway is about rhythm. So you can't hold a violin note any longer than it says. Whereas in symphonies, you can go longer. I mean, like all these tips, my timpani mentor was like, make sure you bring your own towel to lay down your mallets. Huh? I didn't know that. So the mentors are really helping these musicians. And we'll talk to some of them. But one woman came up to me and she said, it's so great to walk into an orchestra that's like not all these men together. She always feels uncomfortable. And this one other female saxophonist said, in her small town, this guy would always go like, she's a woman, but she plays well. Like it was always a surprise. So everyone is just really getting a lot out of it. And tonight, hopefully, we have all these Broadway stars that have done Guys and Dolls or want to do Guys and Dolls and this orchestra. And it's going to be amazing. Anything else I have to say?
And to your point,
yes,
my mom and I saw a Broadway show Friday night. Very diverse cast, great show, great production. But it's one of the shows where the orchestra is on stage. And to your point, there were, I think, 13 people in the band / orchestra.
Yeah.
I know, it's a band. And there were 2 women, 1 person of color, Everyone else, white male. And yet the cast on stage couldn't have been more diverse.
And that's what I once said on It Starts in the House, and someone got furious at me. But I basically said there's more diversity these days in casting than in orchestras. And it was a lot of like, how dare you? And I'm like, what do you mean, how dare me? Like, I'm in the orchestra. I know it. There's not diversity in orchestras. There's just not. And there really needs to be across the board in everything. So I can't wait to do this. And also my favorite thing is everyone knows Sitzprobe is the best day of rehearsal because you're putting the orchestra with the singers together.
So this is not like some fully rehearsed. That's
usually actually the Sitzprobes are better because the singers have been rehearsing their songs and these singers haven't really rehearsed the songs. So it's going to be really a rehearsal, but it's going to be so helpful for everybody.
What do you mean? The three of us have sung this for disclaimer. Disclaimer. But before we get started, because I know that
same with the stage crew, Deborah. I agree.
We'll forget some things. And so one of the things has to do with actually this that happened, Shabbat on Broadway.
Yeah, that was great.
That was on Saturday. That was fantastic. And the producers of that, Henry Tisch and Amanda Lippitz, donated $1,000 to Your Kids, Our Kids. That's our 501c3 that helps fund various activities because, you know,
this Sitzprobe
costs some money.
I'm telling you, it costs $4,000. It's costing to rent the instruments and to rent the space.
Right.
So tonight we're collecting money for Your Kids, Our Kids, so we could do more of these Sitzprobes because MTI is giving us all their shows for free.
Yes.
I mean, I can't even tell you, Baby, The Apple Tree, West Side Story, Les Mis. Like, I'm going through the catalog. I don't know what's going to be next, but they're giving it to us. But I want to keep doing this because it's really helpful. So we're trying to raise at least $4,000 tonight to pay for tonight's, and then we're going to try to keep them going. But so the donations you make, which we'll read out loud, we could also have the
I don't know if we're going to be able to read them out loud. I said that David Katz, this is the week he decided to take off.
Well, no, I know.
So I don't think, but you can go to starsinthehouse.com.
How about we read them out loud on the next Stars in the House?
I love that. I love that idea.
So send in. Does this? Oh, we don't have the thing on the bottom.
Yeah, no. You know, we literally got here 20 minutes before 6.
Hold on. There we go.
It might be on there, right?
So look, that's how you're going to donate. Let's just keep this up. So
keep it up
to donate, it's going to go to Your Kids, Our Kids. It's going to help pay for this Sitzprobe, which, like I said, was $4,000.
Right.
And Amanda Lippitz and Henry Tisch, Key to the City Productions, plus Roger Guinea, they've all donated to help us.
But we want to thank Drew Cohen at MTI Music Theater and
But no, but it's green. So I think
there we go. Let's see how that is.
So anyway, Drew Cohen from MTI immediately said yes. And Jody, they've given us the orchestral scores, the vocal scores, everything for free. Yes. So supportive. So we really have to thank them because that would cost so much more money. And the rights. And by the way, the Lesser estate, Emily Lesser and Don Stevenson, who I've known for a million years, they're married. I'm so thankful. So everyone, oh good, we're back.
To be able to live stream this.
To be able to live stream this because we wanted to show people need to know a diverse orchestra can sound amazing. It's so bullshitty that it's so white all the time.
Well, it's Seth, before we bring on Dr. John Lauk, it's also one of those things I just realized out of all the episodes we've done of Stars in the House, we had a lot of stories about behind the scenes. We talked to so many people, had performances, but this is one of the behind the scenes things. There was no way that we could do in the middle of lockdown of bringing all these people together.
And by the way, speaking of Dr. John Lauk, because we had that great special with Dr. Michael Minna and with Dr. Kim Prather saying that if you do the oral antigen test, not the PCR test, oral antigen, if you're positive on it, you're contagious. If you're negative, you're not. I told everybody rapid antigen. Two things. Someone was going to go visit my mother to help her out. And I just said, please take a COVID test right before she got there. Positive. She didn't know she was sick. And I said right before this rehearsal, can everyone test? One of our main people positive. We wouldn't have known.
Well, that's a perfect segue for Dr. John Lauk, Chief Medical Correspondent of CBS News and Stars in the House in person.
Your swing.
Yes.
Okay, Seth, let's speak.
I will be careful.
Okay, so Dr. Lauk, Seth may be here on the side because I don't know if we can all fit in here.
Maybe I'll go in there. I would say
you go in.
Why don't you come in 4 minutes, unless you want to talk to me, because we're going to sing soon. I want to talk to these clowns.
Well, I don't think the three of us have ever been together
on a medical break.
Not on a medical break. We did on our $1 million.
On $1 million.
How are my glands?
You're fine. Swallow.
Can we do a quick colonoscopy?
I can write off. I thought that's what the Sitzprobe is.
Is it colonoscopy?
It sounds like it, doesn't it?
SITZ.
Sounds like a GI procedure. Anyway, now I can write off the whole evening.
Exactly. This is
there
what
you
I
go.
thought.
Examined you.
What is happening with COVID? Because everyone's like it's over, and everyone I know has it.
So it's COVID fatigue. I get a pandemic fatigue. I completely get it. Meanwhile, that's happening at the same time that we've got COVID, we've got flu, and we've got RSV, respiratory syncytial virus. And in addition to that, we have 3 or 4 years of people masked and not being exposed to all of the typical viruses and bacteria that we are. So think about it. If you could see viruses and bacteria, it would drive you crazy, right? There's trillions of them right here, okay? And in a way, in a normal life, when you're not wearing a mask, you're getting micro and mini boosters, immunizations many times a day.
Like little vaccines.
You're
almost.
being little vaccines, exposed to this, exposed to that. And so your immune system's being kept up to things that are all out there.
Wow.
Now you go years pretty much masked.
Wow.
Your immune system kind of goes down. There's a whole theory about this. But anyway, I think that's what's happening now, where people are it's like the trifecta. They're getting this, that, or the other thing. And sometimes they test negative for all three. And it's something else, adenovirus or something that we don't even know about. The other thing that's happening, if you notice that when people get a cold, and it's not one of those big three, it could take 4 to 6 weeks.
That's what I have. I've had a cold for so long, and I keep testing for COVID, and it's negative, but it will not go away.
Yeah. So I think it's again, your immune system's taking a longer time to get rid of it. And then there's something called hyperreactive airway syndrome, or reactive airway syndrome. And what that means is, this is kind of like maybe a tough analogy or metaphor, but the bugs themselves may be dead. They're in your lung, your immune system's knocked them out, right? But their dead carcasses are still there, okay? And they're irritating your lung. So your lung's trying to get them off by coughing, okay? And so if it's like 3, 4, 5 weeks and you're still coughing, and you're saying, I'm going to take another course of antibiotics, you can't kill something that's already dead. And what may be needed sometimes, I'm not giving medical advice to people on this, but talk to your clinician, you may need a steroid inhaler or even sometimes steroid pills to decrease your immune system transiently so that the coughing can go away and you can get rid of that cycle of irritation and cough. I'm just saying that it's something to think about and don't be surprised. It just may be, it's going to take longer, folks. It's going to take 6 to 8 weeks sometimes. I hate to say it's that long, but it can take not the typical amount of 1 to 2 weeks, but it can certainly be longer.
So everyone's illnesses have really changed because of the lockdown.
Well, I think their immune systems have changed. And the other thing is that, this booster, there are variants.
Yes.
It's the overture.
That's right.
We got
starting. The show's
They're playing
starting.
my song. What seat am I in? People have not been getting the booster. About 20%
I was going to ask you
of
about
people
that.
are getting the new COVID booster. And I got news for you. Remember we did the 60-minute piece about variants. It mutates. So the strain that's out there now is not covered well by the booster you got a year ago. So if you're one of the 80% of people who have not gotten the booster, it's impossible to start.
We have not had underscoring for a medical segment before,
It's
Dr.
impossible.
LaPook.
All right, you're
Okay, you go.
Anyway,
All right,
if you're
we'll
one
continue.
of those people, then please go ahead and get the booster or talk to your clinician about getting the booster. Maybe there's a reason why you shouldn't, but there is some controversy about how much extra bang for the buck you get for each booster.
Right.
But I think in general, it's a safe, CDC recommends it. It's a safe vaccine in general for most people.
Right.
Yes, there are some rare side effects people get. And why not have some added immunity?
But Dr. LaPook, so if it sounds, some people could take what they're hearing you say and say, well, if I'm going to get a cold, maybe I just don't wear a mask and I should just let my immune system take care of things. What would you say to them? Do you still wear the mask? Do you still get the booster? You know what I mean?
I think it's the weather report analogy, right? So it's, what are you going to be doing for the next 2 weeks? If you get exposed today to COVID,
there you go.
The incubation period's gotten less. So maybe it's 3 to 4, maybe 5 days. Okay. So then let's say you get exposed today, you get sick in 5 days. You're going to then be in isolation for 5 days, wearing a mask for 8 to 10 days, depending upon when you test negative.
Right.
What are you doing the next 2 weeks?
Got
are you
it.
going to be seeing your 101-year-old, grandfather?
Right.
Is there some important event in your
That
life
you don't want to cancel.
you just don't want to cancel?
Gotcha.
So it's the weather report. Is it raining? Maybe I'll have an umbrella. So what I do in the world is I went to 2 Broadway plays and musicals recently, and they were great. I did not wear a mask when I was in there. However, if somebody had started coughing,
Interesting.
This is how fast I am on the draw. I've
Gotcha.
always got a KN95 there. They're a little more convenient to put on than the N95, and they're easier on my nose. If I'm on a plane, when I'm boarding,
you still do that.
When I'm boarding and I'm right next to somebody and there's no HVAC yet,
right?
I put it on. When I get up there, once the HVAC, the system air conditioning is going, 50% of the air comes from the outside. There's a lot of air exchanges per hour. Once I'm up there, I take it off generally.
Right.
And also that nozzle ahead of you, I blow it right on me, which is the opposite of what I initially thought till some expert told me. It was Kim Prather.
Yeah, of course.
It blows it away. If the person next to me is coughing, I put on the mask.
Gotcha.
And then on the deplaning, if that is in fact a word, which I don't believe it is.
I think it is.
Like the word cross-check, prepare to cross-check. What is it, a hockey player?
Right.
Anyway, they make up words on planes. And I'm deplaning. I put it on.
Yeah.
Because again, there's no HVAC system. There's no filtration that's going on. And I'm right next to somebody. So, and then as I head out of the airport, if it's open, I use my judgment. It's the same thing, if I'm on a bus, if I'm on the subway. On the subway, generally, they're packed in New York City. I don't avoid the subways. I put on a mask.
I put on a mask.
Why not? Because I'm not even just talking about COVID. I just had COVID in December. And so I'm pretty good for a few weeks, for a few months. So I'm not worried about COVID right now. But I could get a cold or I could get something else. And, I think that's how I'm thinking these days.
But it seems like things haven't really changed, even though the variants have changed and evolved, that what we have to do hasn't changed in the last 2 years or 3 years.
I think the difference is that people understand that, remember that when we started this, which was in March of 2020, if you got COVID, there was a fairly good chance you were going to get really sick or perhaps die.
Yeah.
If you get COVID now, having been vaccinated, it's very, very unlikely that you are going to get severely ill. Now, that's not true for people who have immunocompromised, and they're very frustrated right now, right? There's people are returning to their lives.
We have a lot of
and
viewers
they're
that are in
still
that
stuck
situation.
in their apartment, and there's a whole show to be done about that and about our sensitivity towards that.
Yeah.
When I'm thinking about wearing that mask, I'm thinking about immunocompromised people. I'm thinking about people who I'm going to be with, and I think. We haven't done well on that for the good of society test that we went through during the pandemic. Hopefully we'll get better. The last thing I would say is this is still not the flu. COVID is a vasculitis. Okay. Itis means inflammation, like colitis is inflammation of the colon, tonsillitis, inflammation of the tonsils, appendicitis, inflammation of the appendix. Vasculitis is inflammation of the vascular system. There are blood vessels, which is the blood vessels. There are blood vessels, everywhere in the body. That's why you have so many organs that are affected. You have the head, you get inflammation of the brain, you get inflammation of the heart, of the liver, of the kidneys, of the toes. Yeah. You get it everywhere. So it's not yet where the point is, no big deal. It's still different, and there still is long COVID that we still don't understand well enough. That's great having them. Oh man, this is a live orchestra next.
Yes, but to your point though, that's another reason to get the booster.
Because of the live orchestra? I'm sorry.
No, because it isn't just the flu.
No, it's not just the flu. It's not just the flu.
Yeah, it's.
You know what? It's so beautiful. This music that's coming in. I think I want it piped in during my visits with my patients.
It's really amazing. Okay,
so that's a good segue, right?
I think that we need to find out if we're going to be. Okay, so as Seth said, this is a sits probe, which is basically a rehearsal. So we're going to go. Let me see. Where are my glasses here? I'm gonna go blindly here because we have a volunteer who's filming. So right now, let's see. We might lose the sound. So here's the thing. This is a transition without David Katz here. We may
and wait. I want disclaimer. They asked me a couple of days ago would I do the reprise the epitaph, which we have not rehearsed.
No,
and it's a half. It's not. It's starting on A flat, which is a little
higher than
the
F.
F. Yes. And I just want to point that out.
Well,
and I'm a doctor. Okay.
And Dr. Lapook was all set for a rehearsal. We were going to go to his apartment on Saturday, but Seth, as he said, been getting over a cold, and Seth was actually.
I was looking for a racing form, couldn't find one. I collect old newspapers. This is the Daily News from the year 2000. It's yellow, right? So I think it'll.
Okay, Dr. Lapook, you live in New York City. Do you have a room just for newspapers?
I used to collect old newspapers, dating back to my grandmother had them from World War II. and they're in plastic. This one was not in plastic. I stopped doing it. Too many newspapers.
Yes.
So, but I did.
Wow.
find this.
Okay. So are we ready?
We're
Okay.
good? Ready to go?
So well, I need help from Max. Well, I can try. We're gonna because we're doing the microphone on this. So we're going to. So Seth, I was just afraid the mic might. Everyone's prepared for it too. So why don't you? Okay, we're gonna.
So Jimmy, don't trip.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna walk in.
We're gonna walk in.
I'm
Yes.
trying to play violin.
So, as players, if you start seeing those patterns, play into them. Recognize them. Good. I'm going to go back. Let's go back to Bushel and Peck.
Hold on, we're live streaming.
Oh,
Hi, we're
hello.
live streaming. That's David Chase who's conducting. This is the whole orchestra. Even the orchestra is beautiful. Anybody cabaret reference?
Yes.
Cabaret
Check, check, check.
Thank you. Here's everybody that's singing. We'll do a lot more talking in a minute, but I just want you to know that we're live streaming.
Okay,
Then we're going
what's
to transfer.
Max, you come over here.
Can we transfer to your
You've already
iPhone?
told everyone who's watching that there would be a transition here.
This is Stars in the House, by the way.
Okay, so we're going to transition right here.
Is this going to work?
Yes, I think it
Okay,
will.
1, 2, 3. Yes, sir. Yeah, why are the light? Oh, someone's leaning against.
Feedback.
Lauk just like rang in a weird pitch. Thank you for all looking. Good. Now we got a little defunct to getting it at 45. If I were a bell, yes. Let's make sure we're swinging, starting at 45. Like trumpets, I heard. What was that? 114 was straight. Doesn't want to be, even though it's not marked dotted 8/16. Now, let's also make sure we're featuring the saxes. So that means that everybody else, yeah, so it has that. Just let's play a little bit more. So here's the bar. Here's beat 2 of 44. Sorry, you were so right. This is the problem with getting old. 94. Sorry, 94. Beat 2 of 94. We've just done 1, 2. Yeah, really, really fantastic. And the mic is going. What in God's name?
We're gonna try the mic on the phone now.
Okay.
We're gonna.
Have we blown the audience away? Good. So I want to go back. That was really, really great. Any big did great homework. So here's the one big thing that I want to now bring to your attention. We know what Runyon Land is. It's a series of vignettes of people on New York streets. And every single person we meet, or some people come back, there's a pickpocket, there's the boxer, everyone has a little theme. And unlike most music that is thinking in terms of one, you're still thinking in terms of one big arc, but it's really important to capture the individual character of each of these sections and to switch on a dime. Okay, because every time somebody new walks in, the sound changes. So I'm going to say, let's do it one more time. Really look at the dynamics. They may not be marked perfectly well, but really look at the dynamics. Look at the swells. I'll help you go through it, but rather than break it all down, I just want to see what happens if everybody's now that you've got the notes. The notes are great. Now let's look at how it is shaped. And any place, I'm going to say, for example, the first 12 bars are essentially a busy 2-beat, right? Let's break this down. Here's the anybody playing boom chuck, which I'm going to guess is the bass, the piano, and the drums. Anybody else playing on 2 and 4? Fellows? Okay. All right. So everybody playing on 1, 2, either 2 and 4 or 1 and 3. We're just going to do the first 12 bars. And we're going to make this energetic and crisp and excited and busy New York street. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2. You're good. Yep. When do you come in?
I have short notes at 5.
At 5. Who knew? Excellent. Okay. Yeah. So downbeats 1 and 3 because we're in 2, or upbeats 2 and 4. So meaning you're either playing with the kick drum, which goes like this, or you're playing with a hi-hat, which goes like that. Okay. So let's do that again. Just those people on the piano, even more spank. Do I have to explain that term? No. You know exactly what I mean. Okay. Good. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm just going to go up to the bottom, up to the first 2 beats of 11. Hear how that makes a big difference? It's very cool, isn't it? Now, same people, let's shape it in 4-bar phrases. Lights. Not aggressively, just give it that life. So it's not just on off. I mean, not that it's on off right now, but you know what I mean. Give it some shape. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yep. And give me a little extra zest on beat 2 of bar 12. Now, let's hear what the strings are doing. Okay? Can we do this with, actually, let's just add the strings to that group. No, let's hear the strings alone. Let's hear it. This will be fun. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah! I think we need to hear that again. And thank you for it's changing. So when it changes to a new pattern, take a little, step out a little. Here we go. Just the strings. 1, 2, 1, 2. hear that with the rhythm. Here we go. What? Rhythm section, strings. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah.
I made a schedule, by the way. You have like another 10 minutes till we go to fugue.
Great. Okay.
We're gonna go fugue, just order-wise fugue, oldest profession, bushel.
Oldest profession.
Sue me. More can I wish you if I were a bell? Adelaide's lucky lady. I'll know sit down. So
Great.
just okay, thank you, David. Amazing. By the way, what he's really talking about is how everything is acting with the orchestra. So it's not simply doing a symphony. It's like you're really another character. I'm obsessed with the notes. And by the way, he actually conducts. I say 50% of Broadway conductors, wonderful, just downbeats and only looking at the stage. So thank you, David James.
Well, that is the other thing. P.S. By the way, I'll tell a little story about the baton, which is that Seth and I both played. I know Seth because we played Forever Plaid in 91 and 92. You might have played it earlier than that, but I started in 91. The guy who was your arranger and music director of the original Forever Plaid, this guy named James Raitt, Bonnie Raitt's cousin, John Raitt's nephew. James was of the generation that died of AIDS. Should also included, by the way, the choreographer of the 92 production of Guys and Dolls, Chris Chapman. I had no intent to ever conduct. I liked playing piano. James Raitt said, "You should be a conductor and I'll be dead." So this is his baton.
Wow.
This is the only baton I ever use.
And by the way, every Saturday night I would play Forever Plaid because David subbed out a Forever Plaid.
Probably to play Guys and Dolls.
And Guys and Dolls, yeah. Every Saturday night.
Okay, wait, one other little story, which is that this will make sense why I know the date. December 12th, 1992, which was a Saturday. I played Radio City at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. I played the 2 o'clock matinee of Guys and Dolls. I played both because Forever Plaid did 2 evening shows. I don't know what time, like 7:30 and 10 or something. And then Sunday morning, I was supposed to play the 9 a.m. show of Radio City. And I woke up with the phone ringing at 9 a.m. on Sunday. Bob Swan, the contractor, said, Dave, are you there? It's like, yes, I am. I was on that band car at 9:20. I played the rest of the 9 a.m. show, and then I got on a plane to go to get married. So anyway, you two can sleep through a show and survive. Just don't do it on a regular basis. Okay, so now we've got this fantastic, we've got our basic sound here. We've got this like the energy of the buzzing city. Now we have, on top of this, we have other stuff going on. So let's hear we've heard the strings, we've heard the rhythm, everybody else. So if not Barry and tenor, but brass and clarinets. Okay, so right on the top of the Runyon Land street scene. Yep.
Oh, Runyon.
Whatever we're playing right now, big number 1. It says
Big number 1, sorry.
opening street scene is what it says on
That
this.
was one of our Broadway mentors, just singing out.
Yeah.
Lost.
So here's the top of that. 1, 2, 1, 2. Good. So a lot of stuff going on. Let's see if we can clean it up. Let me hear just the clarinets. Right on the top. 1, 2, 1, 2. Good. I've never heard that before. Don't swing. Straight 8s. Also, let's make sure. One more time. Sorry, I have to hear it again because I don't have it written down and never heard it. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, good. So let's make sure we're da and ba and ba and ba, so we still feel the same thing the rhythm section is feeling. Ba da and ba da and ba da and ba da da. 1, 2, 1, 2. Makes a huge difference, doesn't it? And you played it completely together. Good. Let's hear the brass. 1, 2, 1, 2. Good. So you hear how clean that feels? Hang on to how clean that is. How clean that is. How clean that is. And everybody inhabit your own space, being super clean, super energetic, and aware of where you fit in. Here's bars 1 through 11. 1, 2, 2, 2. How much more exciting that is? So now, because I have a schedule, we're going to keep going and now just apply all of those things, and let's see what we can do. Make sure, I see in my score, this I think applies to most everybody, beats 1 to 2 in bar 12 don't go da-da, they go do-ya, yeah? That's one of those style things. If you have that in your part, does anybody have that in your part? Maybe you don't.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's lean into that. There's a whole other discussion strings about portamento in this period. That's a bigger discussion than we have time for, but don't be afraid of it. But jump in if there are places that make sense to do that. Let's make sure beat 2 of 12 is short, so that we start a new idea when the low saxes and horns and cello now state the theme. Yep. Here we go. Here's the top of, yes.
Seth's on it.
Oh, great. Because the horns are freezing.
Oh. I'm sweating. No, it is cold. Seth's on it. Okay. Okay. Damn you. I can't say that on the airwaves, sorry. Here we go. Here's the top of opening big number 1, Run Your Land. 1, 2, 1, 2. This says Bobby Socks. So you were being a Bobby Soxer. You know what a Bobby Soxer is? No idea. Anybody old here? So you were a 50s probably teenage girl with poodle skirt, white socks rolled down. So be sassy, be like full of life, lots and lots of vibrato. How much? There's no too much character. See what that brings out. Okay, here we go. I'm scared now. Here is 47. Luck Be a Lady in D flat. 47. 1, 2, 2, 2. changes. Okay, good. Let's one more time on, here's bar 70 going into how cool can we be? This says this is the pitchman and stooge. So there's some people on probably 42nd Street between Broadway and 8th that are up to no good. Okay, so let's have some swagger. Here's a good general rule in this world, like in bar 93, you're going to swallow every other note. So it's not dee do dee do dee, but dee 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 dee. So let's hear the swagger. Here's the pickups into 71. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Who's singing?
Oh, well, hold on. There's a whole preface.
Oh, there's a
So, you guys sound amazing. So basically, for the Stars in the House viewers out there, if you don't know Stars in the House, we're raising money for the Entertainment Community Fund, which, by the way, every single person here can take advantage of the Entertainment Community Fund. It used to be called the Actors Fund. To pay your rent, medical bills, groceries, just really anything they will help you with. So Entertainment Community Fund used to be called the Actors Fund. So anyway, James and I started a live stream twice a day. We got the chief medical correspondent from CBS, Dr. John Lauk, to join us right when COVID lockdown began, and he was giving us all these updates as they happen. The point is, once we hit the $1 million mark, which was all made just from donations, we had a live Stars in the House where we were finally all together. It was a year later, and we all performed. And Dr. Lauk's favorite song happens to be Feud for Tin Horns, and James and I joined him. So we are going to try to recreate that $1 million show. I will tell you that it was a step down when we did it, and we have not practiced. So it is going to be horrific, but we wanted to recreate that. So,
just having me is a step down.
so yes.
Establish that.
We're okay.
Which mic?
Sorry, kids.
This is definitely a first for me too. So
Hi,
John. Which is the mic with the autocorrect?
Exactly. I don't want to give it a trip. So
Now-
here, should we face this way? The
This
orchestra
way?
we want?
Yeah, but I'm gonna point out one thing.
Yes, dear.
Anybody know when miking came in on the Broadway stage?
And Juliet.
That's what it came out. So there were body mics by the early 60s. As late as, say, a chorus line, though, there were no body mics when it opened. There were mics across the front of the stage. These orchestrations, which date from 1950, are for live singing. So you don't need the mics, is what I'm telling you. But more importantly, this is a craft which has to some extent been lost, which is the idea of keeping the orchestra out of the way of the singer.
Exactly.
That said, you'll hear almost this entire piece, as you know, is piano and strings, a little bit of drums, and then the occasional, like that great trumpet call, which who's playing the trumpet? Yeah, fantastic. And you know that's the trumpet that sounds at the beginning of a horse race, which is why it's there and played with beautiful character. So that's a perfect example of you don't want to go ba 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 ba, but it has that sense of ba da 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 da. You know, it's a horse race. We're setting up these lowbrow figures.
I want you to know that Dr. Lapook is non-equity, but he actually bought a prop and a costume.
You have to distract the voice because there's no auto tune. But also, I will say, I don't have a telegraph, but I went into my old newspaper collection. This is from August of 2000, and this is an OTB form for the Battle of Saratoga.
Wow.
I'm going to point out one other little thing which is true of orchestrations in this period, is no longer true, and probably for good reason. In this period, we often double the voice.
Right.
If we were doing this orchestration now, and I don't remember, maybe you all remember what happened in '92, I would tacit, for example, the English horn, doubling the voice, so it didn't get in the way. However, now we have instruments doubling voice. So
Let me ask you a question. I'm obsessed with why so many songs, instead of I got the horse right here, ba-dum-bum-bum, it's ba-dum-bum. Why a 20-minute non-button that I don't know when to applaud? Why is that the deal? Who's calling me during my SITSPROBE? Len carry you.
Oh.
Wow, that wasn't
Anyway, I don't know the answer to that. Except the only thing I would say is that in pop music at the time, and remember, these are pop songs. These are dance songs. This is the pop music. People are dancing, not necessarily to this song, but this is, so there are plenty of big band numbers that end with bong. I don't know why.
Isn't it weird? Like, you don't want to applaud. You're like, is it over?
Well, it is. I will say the biggest thing in theater, because you have a live audience, is knowing how to make a strong button to tell the audience to applaud,
Yes.
or not making the audience, keep tricking the audience into not applauding. So one answer might be they didn't want the audience to applaud. I don't think that's the answer.
They're not going to applaud after this, so it's perfect. Well, you're actually on your gig. James.
No. You don't have a vamp marked 5 and 6, do you? Good. Okay. No, I do not have that score.
Oh,
Cool.
wonderful.
I don't know what I have.
See what
I
happens.
have what you sent me like 2 weeks ago. You can have it now.
Who goes first? Jimmy, you go first.
Yeah.
I'll cue you in.
I'll cue you in.
I'll go.
But now that so you're going first, he's going second.
I'm second and he's third.
Oh, you have a voice?
I know. I'm never was anyway.
Here we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do. This guy says the horse can do. If he says the horse can do.
Valentine, 'cause on the morning line, this guy has got me figured at 5 to 9.
Epitaph, you inspire. According to this here in the telegraph. Big threat, big threat. Don't let them slow you down. Big threat. Good. I'm going to stop you now. Okay.
Don't let us slow you down.
I'm going to give the big gold star to Dr. LaPook.
Yeah.
Right on it. And I'm going to make you all do it again.
Yes, sir.
And be brass instruments. Ba-da, ba-da, ba, ba-da, ba-da, ba, ba-da, as opposed to ba-da, da-da, da-da, da. That's a gentle stroll. You're out here on the street trying to sell your stuff.
Right. I'm used to that.
Yeah. So, oldest profession. Okay.
By the way, you wouldn't be second up to Dr. LaPook. He went to Yale, Harvard. Enemies.
Okay. I'm going to start right on bar 5. So now, and the thing that's going to help them is that spank. And strings too. So it just pops. A 1, 2, 3, 4.
I got the horse right here. His name is Paul Revere. And here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do. This guy says the horse can do. If he says the horse can do.
Seth,
I'm thinking Valentine, 'cause on the morning line, this guy has got me figured at 5 to 9.
According to this here in the telegraph.
I know it's Valentine, the morning's words look fine. Besides the job, he's a friend of mine.
And just a minute, boys, I got the feedback noise to take the great grandfather away. Equipoise, shows class. Shows class. This guy says the horse shows class. If he says the horse shows class. Shows class.
Figured 5 to 9.
So many efforts have been by a half. According to this here in the I got the horse right. Yeah. Oh my God. You're amazing. I mean, wow. I'm going to do the end again because so something to observe, and again, this goes into conversation about getting out of the way of the singer. Notice that the texture does not change until it really does. So the reason the audience is going to applaud is because suddenly everybody comes in. Let's, how can we, I think the easiest way to pick up is Epitaph, Valentine. Right on that. 51.
Let's start out with B flat.
Thank you. Let me just, Emma, Epitaph. Yeah. From Epitaph, Valentine, Paul Revere.
Okay.
And just so I know, do you all have a sforzando or just a whole note?
Just hold on.
Let's put a little zets in the probe. What's that? In the probe, yeah. A little zets in the
He's
probe.
a colonoscopy specialist.
We should talk. Okay, here we go. Here's 51. And then, as sassy as we can be, band, in 55, 56. And the one thing I absolutely want is a boom on the cutoff. Yeah, you know what I mean? You got it. Here, Epitaph, 51. 1, 2, 3, 4. Epitaph. I got the horse. 51, we're in 4.
Yeah.
Yep. Here we go. 51.
Are you going to lead in or just hit the note?
Hit the note. Here it is. The note is.
Yeah, I got it.
He's not as gay.
You're on the gig. Give me a good glottal on
What do you want?
A glottal?
A glottal? On what part of that?
On the
Epitaph.
Come on. No. Not a muppet.
The music.
Yeah.
Epitaph.
What is glottal? Come on, you're a doctor. What is glottal?
Glottal. Back here. Epitaph. You want like
Epitaph as opposed to Habitat.
Oh, I see.
Very good.
Okay, you got it?
How do you got it?
Epitaph. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Epitaph.
I got the horn. Yeah. Now go. Good. Excellent. Well done.
Dr. Cook, you still got it? Do you guys have notes? Okay.
Yes, we have notes. Let's go. We're going to almost establish.
Okay, we're gonna go to Otis Established.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. That was a thrill.
By the way, we're gonna do Otis Established, so we need the men, Carlos, I'll do Benny. By the way, there's nothing I love more than being overboard than being filmed from below. So thank you so much. I've never had a worse angle on my face. Okay, so Carlos. So all my men, why don't you guys stand and be picked up by the you are his mics, most of those mics, and I'll be here and Jamon's.
Should we share a microphone?
Well, no, because we have three here. All right, me and Jamon's, and then I'll go there.
I'm gonna meet this guy.
John is Carlos. Okay, so everybody, these are, is this even on? Okay, so these are our ensemble singers over there, and then we have Carlos Lopez from the actual 1992 production of Guys and Dolls, who was a dancer and is now aged into character tracks. And then we have Jelani, who's starring in Back to the Future, but it was not. All right. So let's see.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want to start from the dialogue?
Let's start. Do you know the dialogue?
Just the one that leads you into it.
Yeah.
I know we can make a fortune, but where could we have the game?
So we'll do the.
I don't know that I have the
cues.
cues. But you have the cues. Let me just look at that first page. The Greeks in town. Brandy bottle Bates. Where can I have the game? Okay. So, bar 1, muted brass, and then the strings are coming in with a forte piano or something. If it's not, it should be.
Tradition.
Yeah. What's the first one?
Well, you could just, if you want to just do that.
No, I want to do it with the
So
we've been engaged for 14 years. Okay.
Yeah. We've been engaged for 14 years.
Greeks in town. Brandy bottle Bates.
I know we could make a fortune, but where could we have the game?
The Gilmore Garage was a grand.
Got a grand on hand.
And they now got a lock on the door at the gym at Public School 84.
There's a stock room behind McCloskey's bar.
But Mrs. McCloskey ain't a good scout.
And things being how they are, the back of the police station is out.
So the Biltmore Garage is the spot.
But the $1,000 we ain't got.
When the heat is on, it's never too hot.
Gotta have the game or we'll die from shame. It's the oldest established permanent glory rap game in New York.
Well, orchestra great. Boys.
Good. So let's be conscious again of when we are the accompaniments and when we are strings violins by and large are doubling the melody the whole way through. So we can kind of lay back a little bit. What will help us is for all of you all to be super rhythmically straight. So as opposed to even when the heat is on, it's never too hot. Yeah. Good old reliable Nathan. I'm gonna like go like this every time you say nay. Yeah. Why it's good old Nicholas. Play with me. Going into bar 28. Why it's good. Give me a D. Why it's good. Oof, yeah. That's higher than I thought. 1, 2, 1.
Why it's good old reliable Nathan Detroit.
Yeah. Now, what's our attitude about Nathan?
Man, it's good old reliable Nathan.
Oh, he's gonna find us a he's gonna find us a game. Man, he's a good one. Carlos, you hearing this?
They love it.
They love you.
Oh, thank you.
Now do it to him. Okay, here we go. Listening here, and then you all are gonna play it like this too. Yeah. Why it's good. 1, 2, hop.
Why it's good old reliable Nathan Detroit. If you're looking for action, he'll furnish the spot. Even when the heat is on, it's never too hot. Now one good old
Same thing.
reliable.
This is for you all too. Even when the heat is on, it's never too hot. Yeah? Shape it. Here we go. We have time to do this all again?
Yeah, right, because we're not.
We have to take a break.
Great. Well, let's just 5 more minutes and take a break and do a
Okay,
show.
great.
In my day, we played 3 breaks.
Okay.
Sorry, Charlie. We don't put up with that shit.
Ba-da.
Oh yeah, that.
Ba-da. Let's get this really tight. Da-da.
From the tippy?
From the tippy. Why not? And
Yeah.
I see bar 7. Strings and clarinets marked as piano. Yeah, let's be subtle. Let's be quiet.
Always available.
Here we go. Here's bar 1. He says,
Yeah, we've been engaged 14 years.
The Greeks in town.
$20 base. I know we can make a fortune, but where can we have the game?
The Billboard Garage wants a grand.
But we ain't got a grand on hand. And they now gonna lock on the door at the gym at Public School 84.
There's the stock room behind McCloskey's bar.
But this is McCloskey, ain't a good scout. And things being how they are, the back of the police station is out.
So the Billboard Garage is the spot.
But the $1,000 we ain't got.
Why it's good old reliable Nathan Detroit. If you're looking for action, you'll furnish the spot. Even when the heat is on, it's never too hot. Now a good old reliable Nathan Detroit. Just a certain wall. Really always established permanent glory. There are well-paid shooters everywhere. There are well-paid shooters everywhere. And an awful lot of letters for the fella who can get us. In the skies of your bundle, you'll want to increase. You'll arrange and you'll go broken, quiet and peace. In the hideout, provided by name. They're on the day we just want. Where's the action? Where's the game?
Gotta have a game or we'll die from shame.
It's the oldest established permanent floor.
Good. Should we take our breaky poo? Let's take our breaky poo, and we're still live streaming. Just FYI.
So don't say anything.
No, I want to talk to Katya. Gotcha.
Hey, Stars in the House. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. This is so much fun.
Hi, Max.
Hey.
Because this is my friend Katya, who I just met, who's playing violin. So after the orchestra rehearsal on Saturday, Katya came up to me and was talking about why this kind of thing is good. So tell our listeners out there what you like about this live stream.
Yeah. Well, I love the fact that it's a bunch. I love that it's a diverse orchestra coming together and learning in a really safe environment. We don't really get that opportunity
Why?
at all.
What's unsafe? Or what feels kind of unsafe? You can say it.
Well, in other environments, it's usually mostly white men, and in most environments, you don't really have space to ask questions. There's not really much space to have fun. There's just not much room to be an authentic musician. And so we were making high quality music and learning the score and really getting to the meat of it, but then also having fun. And that's what it's.
And do you feel like, because we have the mentors there, we had Ashley and we have Belinda, do you feel that the Broadway mentors are helping you as a violinist, or is it just really that it's just a great environment?
Oh, no. Some of the things that Ashley had to say in our last rehearsal was really a lot of nuggets of listening. It was really, really helpful.
So it's helping you be ready to play a Broadway show.
I sure hope so.
Excellent. I love it.
Hope. Yeah.
Okay, that's what we wanted, viewers. Okay, I'm so not used to having someone else film me. So we'll just keep walking. Our friend
Okay.
Max is doing this. Thanks, class. Go to
No
the bathroom.
problem.
It's freezing in there, but I love it.
Okay.
Okay, so we can. There's one more person. Hi, Carlos.
Buddy.
Here, talk to our live stream. Carlos, what was it like? He's playing Nathan Troy. What was the original production like? Did you know it was going to be this worldwide hit when you were rehearsing it?
You know what? I tried to put money in it. And I was
Wait,
just
during
a
rehearsals,
dancer. Yeah, during rehearsals. They were like, oh, we need another, da-da-da-da-da. And they go, oh, we're only taking $20,000 chunks. Which, because I was doing pretty good on the Broadway. But I didn't do it, and I wish I did.
When did you first realize this was going to be a big hit? Because shows the early 90s, Broadway was not doing so great. It was all British invasion. Guys and Dolls brought it back to America. How did you know that was going to be good?
I think once Josie got in it, actually.
Whoa, that's such great news. I'm going to tell her that. Hold on, you keep talking on the camera.
But it was a big hit. And for opening night, I had buttons made that said, no, I can't get you a ticket. So, anyways. So, hi, everybody. I hope you give lots and lots of money to this really worthy cause. It's a really good thing. So,
So I just asked Carlos, I said, when did you think Guys and Dolls was going to be a hit? And what did you say?
I said, I think when Josie came in and took over the role of Sarah.
Thank you, Carlos.
And, the dancing was the best dancing I'd ever done. I've done West Side, and did a bunch of shows, but the choreography was really great. It was all very story-based, right?
Yeah.
And,
He learned from Robbins, Chris.
Yeah,
Robbins
so,
was
and
story.
Fosse. And, So, I think it was...
Sweet. Yeah, no, I remember that night that the audience stood up after the show.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the craziness of you taking over the role of Sarah. That was nice.
It was a little, it was quick.
It was the down is Josie done Nick and Nora, which was the major bomb, and when Josie
And
was
I
bombing,
got fired.
So they keep trying to find.
I'm proud to say.
She was starting opposite Faith, but they always try to find someone else. I saw Josie, and she was great. So she got fired. So it was the lowest point of your career.
Right.
Then what happened?
And then I auditioned for Guys and Dolls, and I was asked to stand by. I was invited to stand by. And I said, sure, I'll stand by. And a week and a half into but they brought me in very late to the rehearsals. I did not see any Sarah Brown or Sky rehearsals. I only saw on stage what was going on during previews.
But you knew you were going to stand by.
I was standing by.
But that was a very common thing. That when you understudied, they didn't always bring you in right off the bat.
They want to save money.
They want to save money, so they
Yeah,
brought you in later.
yeah, but then the rehearsals were private. I could sit and watch and take notes. I watched from the audience during previews, and then Jerry calls me on a thank you. Calls me on a Sunday and says, "Josie, you're going on Thursday. You'll have one rehearsal with me, one with the stage managers, and the put-in rehearsal. And I can't offer you the role until I know for sure that you can do what we need you to do." So I said, okay. And
So that first show with the pressure of, am I going to be good enough to take over this role?
yeah, and I got my choreography at 4:30 in the afternoon for Havana. I'd never done it. And I got it that day at 4:30.
And it was intense.
I'll never forget. But I knew
it was a lot longer. When you came into the show, they cut a lot of the dances down. So Runyon Land, which was the beginning of this thing, was 11 minutes long. And when we opened on Broadway, it was a minute and a half.
Oh my God, they cut that much?
They cut that much, but
it made the show move
good. And the same with Havana. Havana was also 11 minutes.
Were you one of the Havana dancers?
I was one of the Havana dancers as well. And so there were trios and there were people dancing together and there was, but it was super steamy. And then they cut it down to a minute and a half again.
Wow, it felt in the audience so fast. I loved it.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's
It was a lot
Jerry.
of fun.
But Chris was very
Chris Chapman,
amenable.
choreographer.
Yeah, he was very amenable for the good of the show. I mean,
he killed his babies. He was able to cut all the choreography.
He was able to do it, but he was able to do it very well.
He knew what to cut.
He knew what to cut to make it still. But I mean, you could take any of his original ballets, I'll call them, Runyon Land Ballet, and also and make it into a concert of dance.
That'd be really cool to see the original. That's a good idea. Next gig. Okay, we're starting again. That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
All right, kids, let's start this show.
Yeah. Oh, hi.
We're here with the Dream Girls Live. This is the Dream Girls cast. Hi, welcome. Nice to see you.
Hey, ladies, why don't you come with Christine? Let's come inside. Thank you for joining. Hi. I chose your song. What are the comments? I mean, I'm hoping that people are hearing. I'll go look on the comments. People loving the universe. You're who?
No, loving the universe.
Okay, good.
They called you Sorkin-esque.
Sorkin-esque. Don't take over any of this shit. We're going to do this. I'll have Christine right. I love this scene. I'll have Christine in the middle.
I know.
Conceptually part of there.
We're going to start with
Lifesaver.
So, I'm starting in the house. This is Christy Petty. What happened? I want you to see that story, so hold on 1 second.
Okay, good. I'll bring up the
Yeah.
last one.
All right, guys, we're starting. Everyone sit down. Oh, ladies.
Bring the city, right?
I know.
Okay. Is this thing, literally is this thing on? It's not, right?
Mine's
Sorry,
not.
I just want to say thank you. Everybody, please give Seth your attention.
I don't think my mic is on, and I'm not old school enough to have any projection power. Zane, is this on? It is? Oh, wait, no. How about now? Hello? No, I don't hear nothing. Anybody? Oh, that's Zane. I think this is it. Am I on now?
Yeah.
Okay, so guys and gals, and those in between. Yeah, oh, that's good. So we have Christine Petty here from SiriusXM, who's going to be playing Adelaide. Tell everybody who your relative was here.
My grandmother's first cousin was Tom Petty. He was the original Harry the Horse in Guys and Dolls, and I was very close to him later on in life. And he lived in LA, and I would travel to London with him. He was just dear, sweet man. He was in the original Guys and Dolls. While he was in Guys and Dolls, he was blacklisted, and he was written up in a column by Ed Sullivan. And
For being a communist.
for being a communist, for marching in the parade. V.S. Pulley, who played Big Julie. If you go to my website, there's the articles are there. V.S. Pulley, for some strange reason, was so angry at Tom for being a miserable pinko commie, he cut up his costumes, and which made no sense. And they shared a dressing room, and I discovered that Tom just, imagine being in a wonderful hit show and then not being able to go into your dressing room. But he always went into the basement where they played poker. And there was a major poker game going on all the time in the basement of the 46th Street Theater. So he was happier there. But anyway, years later, I met Ernie Martin of Fuhrer and Martin, who told me.
Producers.
No, I met, it was Merle Dubusky, the famous press agent, who told me that he was a press agent at the time, that he went into Ernie Martin, and Ernie Martin confirmed this years later, and said, look, this happened to Tom, and now B.S. Pulley did this and ripped up all his costumes. What should we do? Implying maybe there was more than one thing they could do, like get rid of Tom maybe, but just wanting to feel it out. And Ernie Martin just looked up and said, well, we'll get him some new costumes. And it reminds me also of how they used their power, because they had a lot of power. They were important producers. I heard at the Memorial for Cy Fuhrer that I didn't know this. I don't know why. I assumed that all orchestras were integrated. Musicians, I don't get it, but apparently Silk Stockings, a Fuhrer and Martin musical, was the first integrated orchestra. And one of the stories, one of the original musicians, who was also in the pit of Guys and Dolls, said was that when they were trying out of town, and I hope I get this information right, but I'm pretty sure I'm getting it right. They were in Boston at opening night party was being given by some fancy Boston people. And they said at the bottom of the invitation, something to the effect of people of color need not attend. And Cy Fuhrer said anyone who goes to that party is fired.
Isn't that great? And it's great that we're doing Guys and Dolls today. So it's so amazing that this is beginning with Guys and Dolls, and they really innovated, thank God, integrated orchestras. So we're going to do Bushel and Peck. We have the role of Adelaide is being played by Clarence. Through Christine Petty. And our fabulous ladies are backing it up. David?
Well, I couldn't come in costume, but he could.
Yeah. I do have a question. I got a note saying we were cutting bars 61 and 62.
Oh.
Is that new information for the orchestra? Okay, good. I'm glad I brought it up.
I'm not sure what those bars are.
So those are the two bars before you sing.
Oh.
I don't know why. That was just the note I
The
got.
2 bars before I sing, so I just go.
I guess so. We don't have to do that.
I don't know. I don't see too well, so you can just make very large, aggressive hand gestures.
I certainly will. The only other question though is that the 2 bars that are cut are where it says slower. Nicholas, you were part of this rehearsal, right? Why did we cut those bars?
It happened in rehearsal that we came about the vocals.
Okay. Did you change tempos at 63? You did. So the slower, which is in the cut bar 61, should go at 63.
So what would that sound like?
It's what you did yesterday. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
So now this is written in cut time. I'm actually going to do it in a bouncy 4. Because I want you to feel, okay, talking about swing, it's a swing 2, boom, tip, tap, tap. But I want everyone to feel da 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 da. Remember that conversation about swallowing the notes in between?
And it's a diegetic.
This is a diegetic number.
So overacting is allowed. Or bad acting is allowed.
And we are a pit band at the Hot Box, okay? In 1950, so saxes, there is not too much vibrato. Did I say that right? Yeah, don't be afraid. And I expect we're going to hear a lot. Oh, look, okay, brass, hold up your derbies. You don't see these much anymore. But this was a very normal part of. In fact, okay, What do we use? We use the derbies in this. We use anything else?
Cut mute, straight mute, wrote for Harmon as well.
Okay.
Wrote for 3 different mutes.
And no plunger in this.
No plunger in the show.
Okay. In the show, really? Okay.
No plunger in the show.
I'd forgotten. Here we go. So let's make this as the swing version of We're in the Country. Okay. I'm Southern, so I can say that. 1, 2, 3, and. Let's do this. Let's take that fermata off and give us a real strong button. Everyone got that? No fermata. I'm going to use a term that you may or may not know. Circle the fermata. So in New York, do we know this?
Girls, character.
Unlike every other place in the U.S., circle means don't do it. Every other pit, if you go someplace else in the world, probably, circle means pay extra attention and play it really loud.
Isn't that weird? You circle it and you're not supposed to play it. Did you say?
It's a Broadway thing.
Yeah. New York, you circle it.
I don't know the answer because I've never been on tour.
On tours, no. We don't leave
on
here,
tours, no.
We have 3 minutes to do it again. Are you guys
Okay,
up for it?
we'll do it again. Watch the key change.
Yeah. And tippy tap?
No, let's go right on the vocal.
Right on the vocal.
Yeah. So this is bar 63. Yeah, we didn't tune again. Sorry.
Oh yeah, let's do a quick tuning now. Where's my elbow?
D minor chord.
Let's do a D minor chord again. Here's the strings. Good. D minor chord for everybody else. Good. So everybody, let's be conscious of all the various colors that happen in this number. I looked over at one point, everybody was holding a flute, except for Barry Sachs, which, you know. But, you know, things like that, which so often get lost in a pit in New York, and the audience doesn't. This is like, sitzprobes are the one time where everybody can actually hear orchestrations in the way that they're intended. So just as you're playing or watching, just look at who's, you know, what's there, what mutes are here. Are we pizzicato or arco? Or what are we doing? Here's bar 63. Give me I love a 1, 2, 3, 4.
I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and a hug around the neck, a hug around the neck, and a barrel and a heap, a barrel and a heap, and I'm talking in my sleep about you, about you, about you, I love you, a bushel and a peck, you bet your pretty neck I do.
That is the weirdest thing. I've never heard those 2 bars before 4 bars. Let's hear it again. I guess the bells have, yeah. Good. Let's do it again. Here's, I'm going to count 4 into bar 16. A 1, so just pay attention to the notes, pay attention. Sorry, 86, you know. 16 is not the best. Here we go, 86. A 1, 2, 3, 4.
I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck. Though it beats me all to heck, beats me all to heck. How will ever tend the fun, ever tend the fun when I want to keep my arm about you, about you, about you. I love you, a bushel and a peck. You bet your pretty neck I do.
Thank you. Yeah, that was for Seth. Norcam, okay.
Yeah, you still got it. Bravo.
Yay! So we're going to big number 23, More I Cannot Wish You. And just background on this, the character is Irish. Therefore, this is Frank Lesser writing in faux Irish. Okay. Also, one of the things that we will discover, and I don't know the answer, we want to make sure it feels like it's moving, like that, not that it has a groove, but that it has an inevitability in the way it moves forward. However, I'm guessing it's going to be, we're going to watch very carefully throughout this whole thing. So while Seth is setting up a stool for Len, let's just play the intro. Someone else may know better than I do, but the term Straspe? Yeah. Those are your people. Okay, tell us what Straspe is.
It's like you dance it. It's like a waltz, but it's jazz.
But it's a certain kind of attack on the dia.
I'm not a dancer.
That's okay. But you are. You make music. Here. So who do we have at the beginning? We have strings, and strings. Yes, concertino, and a little bit of celeste on the upper piano. So here, let's play the intro, which is 1, 2. Good. So let's do this also. If you have when you have it, for example, the downbeat of bar 2, that eighth note is actually shorter than a full eighth. That's the Straspe. Da da dee da 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 dee. Yeah. Shall we try?
Okay, so just so you know, so this is More Can I Wish You. We have a girl of Arbite being played by Lorna Love. How did you want to introduce him when he walked in? You wanted to sing a certain song when Lynn walked in.
I'm sweet.
Thank you. That's what I was waiting for. The original Sweetie Todd, Tony Award winner, Lynn Carey was here. Big role. Okay, enjoy. Bye.
Ready? Here's the intro.
Good luck.
I can wish for the color of your hands, fortune smiling all along your way. But more I cannot wish you, and wish you find your love, your own true love this day. More I cannot wish you 7 away, and then calling cards upon the silver tray. But more I cannot wish you, and wish you find your love, your own true love this day. Standing there, gazing at you.
Good. Here. Let's go on standing there. Yeah. Keep it light. Keep it the dance. Yeah. Da 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 da. Here's standing there. Is that an E? Yes. Bar 41. 1, 2. Standing there,
Gazing at you. Wait a minute, I'm in the wrong place. Fine. Where are we in the lyric?
at the bridge, standing there gazing at you.
Yeah, and then what?
Full of the bloom of youth.
Oh, it is?
Ah, yes.
I'm right here.
Yep.
He's right.
Here we go. Here's bar 41. Standing there.
Throw this away.
1, 2.
Standing there, gazing at you, full of the gloom of you. Standing there, gazing at you, with the sheep's eye and the licorice too. Music I can wish you, merry music when you're come and wisdom when you're alone turn to gray. What more I cannot wish you. This day with the sheep's eye and the licorice tooth and the strong arms to
Good.
find you.
Good. So I think we want to do a fermata on arms and not on, this is bar 77, the second half of the bar. And then really, I'm going to do this. This is what I would, is it strings that are doubling the melody in 78?
Yes.
Let's make the A a dotted half, or dotted quarter.
Let's turn me a little more towards
And then the E.
Chief.
Sorry, so A dotted quarter, E quarter, circle the F sharp.
The first or the second F sharp?
Sorry, the second one for the end of the bar. So we're not playing the first F sharp because we're playing a dotted quarter.
Gotcha.
So we're going to go da-dee. So everyone's going to circle the sixth eighth note, the last eighth note in bar 78. Everybody. So we're going to play da da dum ya. Yeah. And to make that work, basses, I need to change your note in 78 in the second half of the bar to the A. So that we lead to the D. Yeah. In fact, in 77, anybody who is playing the last B, let's circle that and make your D a dotted quarter. Strong arms to carry you away. Yep. Yeah. Len, how about go back to the last A section? But more I cannot wish you. The last 4 lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. But more. There we go. Oh, sorry. Yeah, 65. Going into 65. Here we go. Into 65. 1, 2.
But more I cannot wish you and wish you find your love, your own true love this day. The sheep's eye and the strong arms to carry you
Yeah. Beautiful. So I'll tell you, one of the things that is very important for me as a conductor is I do not like conducting behind a stage. I love conducting where I can see the eyes and the mouth and the face of the person who's on stage. So one of the challenges always is that my job is to look there, but also be aware of you all. So this is a perfect example of, in the context of a longer run, we all will get used to the way that it moves. But in a situation like this, I will do my best to help you. Keep an ear on him. I will hopefully, but keep your eye on me. Yeah? And hopefully I will be in the right place. But go with me.
Me
Yeah,
too.
I'm going to go with you, but you go with me.
You can run it one more time. It's 2 minutes to 8. Why don't we run it?
Great. Okay. From the top. Lenny, feel good? Tempo? Faster? Slow?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So remember also, this is a song of uplift. There's no sadness here. There might be quiet loveliness, but it's a song of uplift. So move it forward, because his goal as a character is to build up Sarah. So help us do that. Go ahead.
Josie, why don't you come up and
Yeah.
I wanted to.
Oh.
You're getting a Sarah.
You're
getting a Sarah.
Oh.
I'll hold his cane.
Here we go. From the top. 1, 2.
And fortune smiling all along your way. What more I cannot wish you than to wish you find your love. Mansions house, 7 foot all in red, and calling cards upon a silver tray. What more I cannot wish you than to wish you found your true love this day. Gazing at you with the sheep's eye and the licorice tongue. Music, I can wish you merry music when you're young, and wisdom has turned to gray. What more I cannot wish you than to wish you find your own true love today. With the sheep's eye and the licorice tongue and the strong arms to carry you away.
Well, I don't know. I'm just curious, like, what do you want to tell me just about that? Because I still
This is a good moment if there's anything to impart, because they're going to have a Broadway moment on how students play together.
Like
So-
that. Not this.
on this type of song.
This type of song.
Because Ashley was talking about how everything is so rhythmic on Broadway, but this is the kind of song that's more
Right, because he's
Let's do Sumi.
Sumi? Who's doing Sumi?
We have our Carlos Lopez against Dan Detroit, and we have our Adelaide against Lorna Lauk.
We gotta follow that.
Did anybody leave their glasses outside?
Maybe you want to do this and she'll do that.
Sure.
We can also get
No
rid of the music
takers.
stand.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Thank you. So, a couple of notes that I got based on the vocal rehearsal. First of all, we're in a quick 2 at the top when we're in 6/8. When we get into the 3/4 at bar 19, I think we're in 1, although I reserve the right to change my mind. And at 30, we're in 3. 31, we're back in 2. We go at 35, we're back in 1. And you see that we have the repeat back to the top. You all have the repeat, or do you have it written out? Okay. So 35, wait a minute. The second time at 35, we're going to do a fermata. The second time. And I believe we're also not playing 30, we're taciting 36 the second time. And then I have a railroad tracks at 38, but I don't know if that's first time or both times. All right, already. I'm just going good, Nick.
Yeah, I'm just a no good Nick. All right, already, it's true.
So it actually doesn't affect anybody. You're just watching me. And I'm watching him, and we'll find out what happens.
We'll affect each other.
Well, yes. Every time we have, looking at, for example, bar 13 or bar 9, really exaggerate that. Everybody has crescendos over that. Okay, be his boiling frustration. Or hers, rather, her boiling frustration.
Percolate.
Percolate. Let's see what happens. You promised me this. Do you start?
But I promise you it's true.
You promised me this, you promised me that, you promised me anything under the sun, and you give me a kiss, and you'll grab in your hat, you'll walk to the races again. When I think of the time, when I think of the time, I could honestly die.
Sue me.
We don't have a call a lawyer in? Wait a minute.
Call a lawyer and sue me.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's all right.
She was good. She does all the talking. I was like, all right.
Want to do it again?
Yeah, let's do it again.
Let's do it again. You also notice, by the way, bar 8 is longer than being in time. Not necessarily with everybody, but today it is. So watch that rather than just playing forward. Here we go. Your line is?
But I promise you it's true.
You promised me this, you promised me that, you promised me anything under the sun, and you give me a kiss, and you're grabbing your hat, and you're off to the races again. When I think of the time, when I think of the way, I could honestly die.
Call a lawyer and sue me, sue me. What can you do me? Give a holler and hate me, hate me. Go ahead, hate me.
The best thing is in my life, I was a fool to give.
Alright, I'm just an old good man. Alright, already, it's true. So sue me. What can you serve a paper and sue me. What can you do? Give a holler and hate me. Go ahead, hate me. I 2 billion. call a policeman. All right, all right. So sue me, what can you do me?
At it again, you run at the gate. I'm not gonna play second fiddle to that, and I think I'm tired of a whole lot of fun, and I'm telling you now, what's through what I think is a crime. I think of the way I tried. I could honestly die. Sue me,
That was like the little break that we did. It was great.
Let's do it again.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, we have time, yeah.
Lord of Love, people.
Lord of Love,
Legend. Legend.
So in 1992 through 97, we lived
At the Martin Beck.
no, at the Martin Beck. No, we,
Yeah.
sorry, not
It's Hirschfeld Beck.
yes, but didn't we live across the?
Oh, yeah. So his wife would warm up. Our
She was
back
doing crazy
windows
for you, yeah.
faced each other. So she'd be la 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 la, and I was like, shut up! No, she was a great singer. We did chorus line together, me and his wife.
A long time ago.
Long time.
Before any of you were born.
True, except for him.
Thank you.
But he was in a lot of the bands that I was in the show.
So I'm realizing that what I have on the page bears very little resemblance to what
To
you
what we
all
did.
Not to what you do, but what's actually in the orchestration.
Right.
Like there's a moving clarinet in 38. There is nothing in 25 through 26, and there's nothing in 18. Is that correct? Or just there's a downbeat in 18? Doesn't matter.
And at the
I mean, it matters, but now I know.
And at the end, when she says, I could honestly die, sue me,
Okay.
me.
Great, and we are going to add a railroad tracks at the end of 65. And then I'm going to have to lean over to see your mouth.
Oh, you do? Should we face this way?
No, it's okay. No, you're good. Just on that last sumi.
We could share.
You were very beautifully subtle, but I was lost in the back of your head.
Oh.
That's all. Now I know to
How am I
watch.
doing?
Yeah.
All right.
You'll notice something else, by the way, that both of them do naturally, especially for something like this, that like Lauren at the very top goes, "You promised me." There are performers who go, "You promised me this."
Not her.
Not her, no. But the ones that so, which also leads to, by the way, if you know Paul Gemignani, who's one of the great conductors of all time, this is a Paul Gemignani guy. So, okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But it works. Your heart leaves your body for a moment.
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
But I promise you, it's true.
You promised me this, you promised me that, you promised me anything under the sun, and you give me a kiss, and you're rubbing your hat, and you're off to the races again. When I think of the time, when I think of the way I tried, I could honestly die.
Call a lawyer and sue me. What can you do? Give a holler and hate me. Oh, hate me. I'm just an old good kid. All right, it's true. So sue me. What can you do me? I love you.
You nibble and tear, you nibble on everything all to me, and I'm sick of you giving up in the air to your back of the money again. When I think of the time, and I think of the way.
Serve a paper and sue me. What can you do?
Good. Thank you. That's so fun.
Let's
We are
do the
going-
show.
We're going to If I Were a Bell. Is that right? And I believe, I don't know if Adelaide's Lament. Okay, sorry. We are going to Adelaide's Lament. Big number 8.
So, Adelaide, if you have our third Adelaide of the night, why was this never on? I have such vocal damage. If you have our third Adelaide of the night, you know her as a 7-year-old young Cosette. We know her as Elphaba from the Kid. Miss, Bobby, aren't you like maybe Hell's Kitchen? Anyway, she was just in Hell's Kitchen. The point is, Donna Vivino's going to be playing at Adelaide. Thank you very much. Enjoy. Bye.
Hello. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
We've never sung this together before.
No.
At all. So, I think because we have, also I noticed that like what's on the page here also doesn't match what's scored. By the way, there's a general belief that after opening, Ted Royal replaced a lot of George Bassman's orchestrations. What's on the album is different from what's in the parts. And what's on the page is unrelated to both. But here's a classic old Broadway thing, which is how do we get our pitch? We give a bell tone. Sometimes it's a bell, sometimes it's a horn, sometimes it's a clarinet, sometimes it's a
It says here,
oh, sorry.
the average unmarried female, basically insecure, due to some long frustration, may react with psychosomatic symptoms, difficult to endure, affecting the upper respiratory tract. In other words, just been waiting
Good,
around.
okay. So we're gonna do a little railroad track right there. Good. So here's bar 15. This is respiratory on the word tract. Respiratory tract.
In other words, just from waiting around for that plain little band to go, a person can develop a cold. You can spray her wherever you figure the streptococci. You can give her a shot for whatever she's got, but it just won't work. If she's tired of getting a fisheye from the hotel clerk, a person can develop a cold. Where was I? The female remaining single, just in the legal sense, shows an erotic tendency. Chronic organic syndromes, toxic or hypertense, involving the eye, the ear, the nose, and throat. In other words, just from worrying whether the wedding is on or off, a person can develop a cough. You can feed her all day with the vitamin A and a bromophen, but the medicine never gets anywhere near where the truth is. If she's getting a kind of a name for herself, and the name that she is, a person can develop a cough. And just from stalling and stalling and stalling the wedding trip, a person can develop a grip. The compartment is air conditioned and moods know. Then they get on the train for Niagara for the 14th time. A person they develop la grip, la post-nasal drip with the wheezes and the sneezes and a sinus that's really up there. From a lack of community property and a feeling she's getting too old. A person of a bad
Good. Yay. See, like, that's a button. Good. So yeah, let's. I want to do it again. If that's okay.
Yeah.
We have time to do all these twice, right? I'm looking at Seth. Seth's paying attention to the string part. Notice. Thank goodness. Bar 44, there is a writ. Yeah. 44, 45 is a tempo. It's not marked here. Bar 38 is a tempo. So I'm going to, just for clarity, average unmarried female. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That we don't rush it too much. So hear her say, average unmarried female, logically insecure, basically in or whatever, you know. Be the conversation, be the words in the book that she is reading.
Okay. It's
Not
my
much.
problem.
Yeah.
I do know my lyrics.
So here's our belt, our cello tone again. E flat, yes. Or is it E flat? Yeah, it is E
David,
flat.
do you want the dialogue it says here? Does that help you, or would you like me?
I know that it's there now. So. Yeah, absolutely. It says here. Okay, here's the.
It says here, the average unmarried female, basically insecure, due to some frustration psychosomatic symptoms, difficult to endure, affecting the upper respiratory tract. In other words, just from waiting around for that brave little man to bolt, a person can develop a cold. You can stray around play with the rhythm and all the popular cooking. You can give her a shot for whatever she's got, but it just won't work. If she's trying to get a fish on from the hotel clerk, a person can develop a cold. Okay, it says here, the female remaining single, just in the legal sense, shows an erotic tendency. Chronic organic syndromes, toxic or hypertense, involving the eye, the ear, the nose, and throat. In other words, just from worrying whether the wedding is on or off, a person can develop a cold. You can feed her all day with the vitamin A or the bromophiles, but the medicine never gets anywhere near where the trouble is. If she's getting a kind of a name for herself and the name ain't his, a person can develop a cold. Swallowing the winning trip, a person can develop a grip. When they get on the train for Niagara, and she can hear church bells chime. suppositions and the moods. Then they get off at Saratoga for the 14th time. A person can develop la grip, la post-nasal drip with the wheezes and the sneezes and a sinus that's really a pip from a lack of community property and a feeling she's getting too old. A person can develop a
Fantastic. And I hope you all are appreciating how great you sound. You feel like you're making music as an ensemble? You really are. Yay. Thank you. What's next?
I think it's Josie just reprising her brilliance.
If I rebel?
What did you say?
Reprising your brilliance, he said.
Oh, Jesus. No pressure, though.
No pressure, though.
40 years
If I rebel, big number 15. So the beginning of this is a little odd now. So did you all get the memo that we're not playing until bar 2? Ask me how do I feel.
Ask me how do I feel.
What, give me a G. Ask me how do I feel. So we start on bar 2. We'll be in 4 because we'll be freely. And then we will go into tempo at bar, what is that? 5. No, that can't be right. 1, oh yes. Freely at 2, 3, 4.
All I can say.
That's helpful. Okay. See how she goes, well, sir, all I can say. We know exactly where that is, right? As opposed to what's on the music, which is, well, sir, all I. This is much more interesting. Yeah. So, all I can say. Now, this is a classic. Just before we do it, let's feel the bass. Yeah. Doom, 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 doom. Here's bar 5.
Here's bar. It looks sexy.
Let's hear the basses. The bassy at bar 5. Just the bass.
Chemistry, but she says chemistry.
A 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now let's add the drums and the piano, and I want us to really feel this as a swing tune. And Marianne will tell you a bass player will often add a couple extra little notes in there, and that's okay unless the conductor is like really anal. Just do what you do. Yeah. I am very anal, but not about that. So let's hear just the rhythm section. Let's find a slightly. You all know this situation in the song. She is finding herself free for the first time. So she's discovering whatever that means. I'm going to offend somebody if I say something. Bar 5, just the rhythm section. A 1, 2. Good. So Nicholas, is that, just to know, is that what's written? It is up in that octave? Onto less. Ah, okay. That's why. Okay, I just it doesn't sound, I couldn't tell, but yes, okay, that makes sense. Okay, good. So let's see what happens. So if you are the rhythm section, you were just cool and just taking her on this journey. If you are doing a warm pad, thumb line, make it as romantic and sensual as you can. If you're doing a fill, make it play with her. Make her play with it. Yeah? Does that make sense? So here's a G.
Ask me, how do I feel? Ask me now that we're cozy and clingy. Well, sir, all I can say.
Yep, good. So what happened? So is it just Celeste in those first 4 bars?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Something. Okay, good. Let's do that again. So just to make it a little more Celeste-y, feel like it can roll and ring. Yeah? Yes. Let's not play it. Because of the way she's coming in. If she were coming in a different way, yes. Here we go. Here's the top. Ask me.
Ask me, how do I feel? Ask me now that we're cozy and clingy. Well, sir, all I can say is if I were a bell, I'd be ringing. From the moment we kissed tonight, that's the way I just got to behave. Boy, if I were a lamp, I'd light, and if I were a man, I'd wait. Ask me how I feel, and we would like quiet or ringing. Well, sir, all I can say is if I were a king, I'd be swinging. Or if I were a watch, I'd start popping like spring. Or if I were a girl, I'd go ask me how do I feel from this chemistry lesson I'm learning. Well, sir, all I can say is if I were a bridge, I'd be burning. Yes, I knew I morale would crack from the wonderful way that you looked. Boy, if I were a duck, I'd quack. Or if I were a goose, I'd be cooked. Ask me how do I feel? Ask me now that we're finally caressing. If I were a salad, I know I'd be splashing my dressing. Ask me how to describe this whole beautiful thing. Well, if I were a bell, I'd go ding, dong,
Unless you don't want to.
No, I'll do it again. I'll do it again. Okay.
Here's a. Go ahead, Marion. Yeah.
It's kind of cool to know even the chord structure. Like a lot of Broadway things have chords on top, and you could just kind of walk around that. That would be
a big, yeah. So that's something that, like, in the context of rehearsal, like if we were doing these charts now, we would definitely probably put chords in. We'd add a guitar to the tip, one thing, and we would put chords in the bass and the piano, unless it was for this kind of song. You're absolutely right. Here's something that we didn't answer, but you all did it. The very last note is very odd. It's written as a grace note. So one of the conversations we must have is whether it's ba-da or ba-da. It is the second, which we all did, I think, or most of us. And in fact, it's not even really a grace note. If I were rewriting these charts, I would write it as a 16th, probably with an accent. Be-da. So it didn't feel like ba-da. Good. Let's do this. Let's be as delicate as we can, strings, except when it starts to really, when it gets up there into like around bar 26, 27. Actually, even before that. Brass contained. Playful but contained. Saxes, don't be, when you come in the last 4 bars, don't be the bull in the china shop. We spent a whole number with clarinets and flutes by and large, so let's make sure that the seam is clean. Good, here's the top again. Nicholas, our G. You notice, by the way, I put my stick down because at a certain point, it doesn't really matter what I do for a song like this. It's more important that you all listen to each other, and I'll just keep an eye on things. Here we go.
Ask me, how do I feel? Ask me now that we're cozy and clingy. Well, sir, all I can say is if I were a bell, I'd be ringing. From the moment we kissed tonight, that's the way I've just got to behave. Boy, if I were a lamp, I'd light. And if I were a banner, I'd wave. Ask me, how do I feel? Little me with my quiet upbringing. Well, so all I can say is if I were a king, I'd be swinging. Or if I were a watch, I'd start popping my spring. Or if I were a ask me, how do I feel from this chemistry lesson I'm learning? Well, sir, all I can say is if I were a bridge, I'd be burning. Yes, I knew my morale would crack from the wonderful way that you looked. Boy, if I were a duck, I'd quack. Or if I were a goose, I'd be hooked. Ask me, how do I feel? Ask me now that we're falling through if I were a song, I know I'd be splashing my dressing. Ask me how to describe this beautiful thing. Well, if I were a bell, I'd go ding dong, ding
One of the big myths about Broadway is you don't get to make music. That's not true. It's not, yes, we make music, but you can constantly make beautiful music. And the great thing about doing it over and over and over is, didn't get it right this time, you do it tomorrow. You got 8 chances every week. What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Luck be a lady?
Oh. Okay. So we have our men, we have our back out, and we have our Sky Masterson, Santino Fontana. Santino, come on up. Beyond. Hi, everybody. What happened to the iPhone now? There it comes worse.
Hello, sir. I saw John
Santino, David Chase.
Yeah.
So, men, you can, some can come over here if you want. How do we want to do it?
Great, yeah.
How many men do we have? Do we all have?
Yeah, come on up. So I'm going to hand over the podium to Jermaine. Before I do, I want to do a similar exercise to what we did in Runyon Land. Okay? So look at bar 22. This entire song is 2 chords, except for the bridge. How do we keep that interesting? So I want us to aggressively shape every 2-bar phrase, every 4-bar phrase, every 8-bar phrase, every whatever it is, okay? so that we have, for example, rhythm section, play me bar 22. 22 through 25. Let's do an infinite loop. Yeah? 22 through 25. 1, 2, 1, 2. Watch me though, I'm gonna change what I'm doing. I'm gonna change what I'm doing. Okay, 1, 2, 2, 2. Not that we want to be that aggressive, but constantly think in terms of shape. So it's always moving forward, telling the story. Let's add the brass to that. We're playing on the tight, Chris, clear. 1, 2, 1, 2. Good. So now let's hear what the strings are doing in. Yeah, 26. So let's just play from 22. Let's just continue on. Yeah, without vocals right now, but just so strings. Remember doing all this like busy street. Here we go. This is your moment. We're gonna start at 22. Everybody at 22. Everyone. 1, 2, 2, 2. Lots of notes, yeah, but very cool. You guys want to hear the strings by themselves for a minute? Yeah. Here's bar 26. Strings, bar 26. 1, 2, 2, 2. Good. So let's check those notes. C flat. Here's just checking. Here's bar 20. What is it? 34. Right on 34. 1, 2, 1, 2. There we go. Good, good. And you can do, because 42 and 43 are there's no vocal happening, we can come out there. It's probably not marked. But that scale going up in 41, but a little up. Yep. Here's 38. 38.
You want to maybe put a little,
Yeah.
a little accent on it. A little bit, just enough to pop out.
A glow. A glow. Here's 38 strings. 1, 2, 1, 2. Good. Yeah. So let's do that. Where's the man? Here you are. Oh boy. You want this?
Oh, this is your piece. So
Yeah.
the story. So he's a MUSE member. Am I correct?
Yes, I am.
And you haven't conducted yet on Broadway?
I have not.
So this is your Broadway debut?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Anything you need to say?
Ooh.
I mean,
Let's do it.
Okay. You want a stick? You want a pencil?
I'll use my pencil.
Okay.
Thank you.
So exciting.
Hello. How are you? I'm good. How are you? Thank you, everyone.
Santino up on top. And gentlemen.
We'll be in 2, measure 21 and 4, and then back in 2 at 22. Here we go.
They call you later, but at times you'll have a very unladylike way of running out. You're on this date with me, the pickings have been lush, and yet before this evening is over, you might give me the brush. You might to stay. And so the best that I can do is pray. Tonight, Luck be a lady tonight. Luck if you've ever been a lady to begin with. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck let a gentleman see how nice it is you can be. I know the way you treated, I'm the guy to be. Luck be a lady. Lady doesn't wander all over the room and blow on some other guy's eyes. So let's keep the party polite. Never get out of my sight. Stick with me, baby. I'm the fella you came in with. Luck be a lady. Luck be a lady. Luck be a lady. Be a lady tonight. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck if you've ever been a lady to begin with. Luck be a lady tonight. Gentlemen, see how nice a thing you can. I know the way you treated other guys in the way. Luck be a lady. Wouldn't flirt with strangers. She'd have a heart, she'd have a soul. Lady wouldn't make kids and shake as a day. I bet my life on this roll. So let's keep the party full. Let's keep the party full. Get out of my sight. Stay with me, baby. I'm the fella you do. Let's be a lady. Let's be a lady. Be a lady.
Any tips, David? Yeah. So the biggest thing, it looks great, the energy is fantastic. Let's make sure in the verse that these pops are really yeah. So be careful your left hand doesn't go back. Yeah, and if you want to do both hands, it's okay, but make sure. But it's not the better clarity. So, and this is a no problem. Let's make sure that when it's and when it comes down, when it comes out. Now, I don't know how well it's honestly. Also, just you did it. Are you correct? Yep, there.
Gentlemen, are we holding Luck be a lady tonight? Or are we going Luck be a lady tonight? Okay, keep rehearsing.
I think we should now so many turns because these are with the mics.
Yes. Yeah, so just the key is you never need this. Use it. Use it for cue, use it for the stage, but you never need to mirror. Now that said, you will see in Broadway plays, you will see 90% of Broadway conductors conduct like this, but you don't reach out.
Yeah, I know, but it feels so much better to have both hands.
No, yes, but it's confusing. Okay, actually, it's a good question, orchestra.
Yes.
We're talking about conducting with like mirroring hands. That's confusing, isn't it?
Is
I mean,
it?
not
Be
confusing
honest.
it. Be honest. You know.
Or is it helpful for that
Go
side
ahead.
versus that side?
But you don't find it confusing? Okay. I mean, a lot of it depends. Yeah, go ahead.
It's confusing when not well done.
Okay. Yeah. Valid.
Good point. It's
What?
interesting.
Yeah. When you have to collect everyone, it's nice to see both.
Oh, so you hear that it's nice for like to make a statement,
Yeah.
to like collect everybody together.
I think like being able to use one hand for like phrasing and things is like normally much more helpful for me at least, or like the violence, like especially with melody figures maybe. But
And
yeah,
and that's independent of where the beat is, and it's also what you're using for them on stage.
For cutoffs. Yeah, you know, so you can mirror, especially if you're starting it, you know, it's helpful. But in things like so we were talking specifically about what bar is that? 7th. Yeah, bar 8. That way of running out. There's more. It's way of running out. Bah! It's clearer, and it's going to be cleaner. Because we're all watching one point rather than two, even if it's exactly together. Or do it together. No. Try it. Okay, here we go. And the other thing we're going to tell them. Oh yes. We'll just be conscious together of just bringing it down a little bit dynamically when there's vocals. So it may not be marked. Yeah, it may not be marked, but it is marked. Okay, great. But he's going to help you with his left hand. And are you going to do the cutoff? Yeah, I'm going to do the, measure 20, bar 20. I'll give a cutoff, and I'll give a cutoff after the beat 4 of 21. Just ask why. Why? Yeah, I'm not questioning it. I'm going to ask. But okay, good. Good answer. There's no wrong answer. Oh, okay. Yeah. Cool. My name. Good. Let's do it again. Very good. One more time. Thank you.
They call you Lady Luck, but there is room for doubt. At times you have a very unladylike way of running out. You're on this date with me, the pickings have been much, and yet before this evening is over, you might give me the brush. You might forget your manners, you might refuse to stay. And so the best that I can do is pray. Let's be a lady tonight. Let's be a lady I know the way you treated other guys you let's be a lady. A lady doesn't need her sword, isn't fair, isn't nice. A lady doesn't wander alone and go on some other guy's side. So let's keep the party polite. Never get out of my sight. Stick with me, baby. I'm the fella you came in with. Luck be a lady. Luck be a lady. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck if you've ever been a lady to begin with. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck to let a gentleman see. I know the way you treat other guys in the way. Luck be a lady. But if we were a stranger, she'd have a heart, she'd have a soul. Maybe wanted to make little snake eyes at me. I put my life on you. So let's keep the party alive. Never get out of my sight. Stick with me, baby. I'm the fella you give me.
Oh my gosh, that was great.
That makes sense. And you heard it down the
Seth doesn't realize
Well, there's
that.
so many effing cameras everywhere.
Well, everyone's saying, Seth, though, that this sound is much better. So we're
Oh,
going.
good. Use that.
Yeah. Right. We have 2 songs left for those of you. Santino's got another song. Oh, with Ali Ewald right here. And then Jelani is going to be way over there. He's in Back to the Future. He's going to be singing. Here's Seth.
And Ali Ewald playing Sarah, who, speaking personally, was the first Asian American actress to play Christine Dai in Back to the Opera on Broadway. And more importantly, she just got married.
So you know.
You know, right? She knows.
Wait a minute. Now I have to find it. So here's just a quick side note too. There's a long tradition of songs in the American musical theater that are called suppositional love songs, which includes almost at least a song from every Oscar Hammerstein show, such as If I Loved You from Carousel, where 2 characters sing essentially, I'm not in love, but if I were, this is how I'd behave. Or in Oklahoma, they say, don't do that, because if you do that, people will say we're in love. Meanwhile, they're doing that. Only Showboat has a song called Only Make Believe I Love You. To me, one of the great suppositional love songs is Shall We Dance, which is if you were at a dance and you wanted to dance with somebody, how would you do it? And that's the entire premise of Shall We Dance. They never say anything about love, but the audience knows they are in love. So here's a perfect suppositional love song, which is I'll know when my love comes along. At the same time, we're watching the fact that, no, it can't be you. But maybe it is. Good. Are we doing dialogue? Yeah, is that what we're asking?
That's what
I think we should do dialogue because here's why. One of the challenges of accompanying a scene/song with dialogue is that I'm going to have to listen very carefully and make guesses about how long, how fast or slow something goes. I have no idea how fast or slow it's going to be. So you're going to watch like hawks.
And we'll take a break after this. People that have to leave.
Oh, okay. Now, the one thing I don't know, strings. Do you have 4/8 notes at the end of bar 3, violins?
Well, tied in.
Okay, I'm not entirely sure. Like, I might need to clean this out based on how we do this. Right now, the strings are either completely playing with you or doing. And do you have like railroad tracks as yours marked all over, like every other bar? Good. Okay. Then we'll find out. Okay. So here's the top of I'll know. I'm in 4. So the string note is.
For I've imagined every bit of him, from his strong moral fiber to the wisdom in his head, to the homey aroma of his mind.
Representing Brooks Brothers type.
Yes. And I
Okay, sorry. You didn't write that. He's not with us. It's all right. I'm sorry. You don't remember this part of the recording.
So all those extra notes mimicking the melody work. I might ultimately take them out, but let's keep them in here now.
Is there a cutoff in measure 8 at the end of 8, or is it going to be like a cutoff and then come
I don't.
We have
You do have a railroad tracks?
Yeah, we do have a railroad track, and then there's an 8-note pickup into measure 9.
Yeah. Do you? Okay.
That's what. Yeah.
That's what's there. Oh, okay. Great, we'll do it. Basses, what beat do you play on in that bar? You play on the end of 1 and the end of 3? Sorry, bar 8? Excellent. Okay. So the railroad tracks is between 4 and 4 and, yes? And who plays the pickup in the 9?
You just have an 8-note rest.
You just have an 8th rest. Great. Okay. All right. Here's our bell tone, or here's our note, which is.
For I've imagined every bit of him, from his strong moral fiber to the wisdom in his hand, to the holy aroma of his mind.
You have wished yourself a Scarsdale Galahad, the breakfast eating Brooks Brothers type.
Yes, and I shall meet him when the time is right.
You've got the guy all figured out.
I have.
Including when he smokes, all figured out.
All figured out. When my love comes along, I won't take a chance. Oh, he'll be just what I need, not some fly-by-night Broadway romance.
And you'll know at a glance by them 2 pair of pants.
I'll know by his calm, steady voice, who's me on the ground. I'll know as I run to his arms, that at last I've come home safe and sound. Until then, I shall wait. Until then, I'll be strong. When my love comes along.
No, you're talking about Lauk. You can't open like that. What are you picking, a guy or a horse?
I wouldn't expect a gambler to understand.
Would you like to hear how a gambler feels about the big heartthrob?
No.
Well, I'll tell you. Mine will come as a surprise to me. Mine, I leave to chance and chemistry.
Chemistry?
Suddenly I'll know when my love comes along. I'll know then and there. I'll know at the sight of your face how I care, how I care, how I care. And I'll start and I'll stare. And I'll know long before we can speak. I'll know in my heart. I'll know, and I won't ever ask. Am I right? Am I wise? Am I smart? But I'll stop and I'll stare at that face in the blood. Yes, I'll know when my love comes along. When my love comes
So you saw that at bar 13, there's a lot more dialogue than there is music at that tempo. So when we do it again, we're going to go slower. I also, there are a couple like, there's a horn riff somewhere that is like nowhere near in this score that you're moving somewhere where I didn't know you were moving, but it sounded great, but 47.
We got the line at 47.
Yeah, no, I have that with the cello. It was something, it was either like 62, 63, or maybe in 32. Do you have like something?
We got like 33 and 36. We got a little bum, bum, bum.
No, that's all there. Okay, that's fine. Nice. Easy to follow, yes. Sing. Good. Let's do this again.
Yes.
Yeah. Anything?
No.
Want to try different?
Just do it again.
Let's do it again. Do it.
Anything you want us to do? Yeah. What do you want?
No, I want.
Feels good. This is safe. Feels very light.
No, it's what's great is you all hear what happens as soon as you add this element, which is, and it's going to be different every night, in little subtle ways. It just is. It's not with every performer. Santino it is.
Careful.
Here we go. Here's the top.
For I've imagined every bit of him, from his strong moral fiber to the wisdom in his head, to the homing aroma of his mind.
You have wished yourself a Scarsdale Galahad, the breakfast eating Brooks Brothers type.
Yes, and I shall meet him when the time is right.
You've got the guy all figured out.
I have.
Including when he smokes, all figured out, huh?
All figured out. I'll know when my love comes along. I won't take a chance. He'll be just what I need. Not some fly-by-night Broadway romance.
And you'll know at a glance by the 2 pair of pants.
I'll know by the long, steady voice whose feet on the ground. I'll know as I run to his arms that at last I've come home safe and sound. Until then, I shall wait. Until then, I'll be strong. When my love comes along.
No. You're talking about love. You can't dope it like that. What are you picking, a guy or a horse?
I wouldn't expect a gambler to understand.
Would you like to hear how a gambler feels about the big heartthrob?
No.
Well, I'll tell you. Mine will come as a surprise to me. Mine, I leave to chance and chemistry. Yeah, chemistry. Suddenly I'll know when my love comes along. I'll know then and there. I'll know when the sight of her face. How I care, how I care, how I care. And I'll stop, and I'll stare, and I'll know before we can speak. I'll know in my heart. I'll know when I won't harass. Am I right? Am I wise? Am I smart? But I'll stop and I'll stare at that face in the throng. Yes, I'll know when my love comes along.
who's holding that.
Sorry.
No, not you. It's me seeing that violins are doubling it, but you got it. You know. Gorgeous. Now, did you all do the ending as well? 6B.
No,
You want to do it? Want to try it? The new key. New key. This is after he has left her somewhat nastily. 6B. 6B. 1, 2, 3.
Not some fly-by-night Broadway romance. Until then, I shall wait. Until
Together in Chicago, and it was glorious. Yay. Okay, so we now have.
I think we should take a break and then do sit down.
Okay.
I know I just poked you. I sound amazing. Oh, all right, so let's take a break and section leaders check in with your players if you have any tips, and we'll come back and we'll do sit down and maybe we'll set you more.
Okay, Seth. We're gonna take a little break here. Actually. So I saw some comments. Some people, Seth, some of our viewers want to know more about Allie. So I think this might be a good time to get. She's right over there.
Well, when we walk out.
All right, so let's walk
Don't trip
out.
over anything.
I won't trip over anything. Look, this is what we're doing with here. So, yes.
Well, why don't you go talk to Allie?
Well, David is talking to Allie. Well, let's do a little interview here. What was the experience like, say, to our viewers here?
It was thrilling. It was really exciting. I didn't realize I'd be conducting.
You didn't know?
No. David was really gracious and was like, "Do you want to conduct something tonight?"
I thought it was planned.
I thought it was planned.
No,
Oh
that's
my
why I was
God.
sweating so much.
That was amazing.
But it was fun.
What was, after you did it, what was like different? Like, what did you not expect?
What did I not expect? I don't know. I was just so impressed by how much it felt like an ensemble already. Like we were all sort of breathing and moving together and feeling together and listening together. So just
You can hear a difference from the beginning to now.
Yeah.
David's notes have been so helpful about how everyone's kind of acting with all characters. It's really helping, I think, everybody play.
Yeah. I want to do our song again.
Oh, we'll probably have time in the break.
No, I don't. I'm not. I don't really mean that stuff.
Yeah, 'cause we were terrible.
What happened? You know what happened? I'm so proud of myself. I had both copies in my notebook because some of the people commented I read because I was able to.
Yeah.
Like, James, you look so concerned. It's because I literally had my pages all inverted. So the last part, I didn't know what I was singing. I have not done the show.
But you knew the last two notes.
Yes, sort of. But anyway, that was amazing. I really would have thought.
I cannot believe. I thought it was like, oh, there's one special prepared piece.
Yeah. No, I came in tonight and he was like, "What do you want to do?"
So what's the holdup on you? Like, what's been your process for trying to get to Broadway? Like, have you seen any roadblocks? Like, what's been the deal?
You know, I'm from New York and then lived in Chicago for 10 years, 12 years, and was active in the community there. Anthony was playing reeds, actually. He used to play for me in some shows back in Chicago. But I just got back to New York about 8 months ago.
Okay.
And so I'm ready to get my feet in there and be a part of the community.
And how do you do it? I mean, I joined the Broadway community so many years ago. Like, what's the process now, do you think, for you to try to get in?
I think it's opportunities like this to meet people that are working, and to meet David and Mary Mitchell, and to do this kind of networking. It's so important. And meeting you, of course. And then I play for some folks, and I'm a Broadway coach or a vocal coach.
Playing people's auditions really pays off because you meet the music director staff behind the table. Right. That's how I got a lot of gigs. This is how I met James Reid. To my forever plaid, he saw me play an audition. So that's just a great thing to do.
Who's being in the room?
Where's Max? Where's Max? Come over here and film us a little bit. You know, Seth, before you sneeze. So you were talking about the mentors. Some of the people were commenting, and I don't think maybe they didn't catch Seth at the beginning talking about the section leaders. So can you explain the importance of that in your own words of why? Because we have, like, Mary Ann is here. There's a lot of section leaders. What is their purpose for being here?
It's to give tips to folks who are learning and building the skills of being a Broadway musician. There are certain mores and certain styles and certain tips and certain things that a lot of conductors listen for. And so to get that mentoring, that information in an environment like this where they otherwise wouldn't get it is incredibly important. And for me to be able to get notes from David, I mean, pretty great.
I thought it was great. I thought it was great just for the little bit that I sang. I was like, oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
All right, Max, you want to take over to your filming? No, you just go. We're going to film with that. So I'm not like this weird craziness here. Okay, hold on. So now you have to film us. Okay, hold on.
Here's Allie.
And Allie, thank you so much. All right, Allie. So people have been asking, sure, what is coming?
Oh gosh.
Can you? Here, go that up. So wait a minute, let's go back. What did you do with David?
We did a King and I at the Lyric Opera in Chicago. I did it between the King and I on Broadway and going into Phantom. So I took it was like 2016.
2016.
Yep, I took a leave of absence from the Broadway King and I to play Tough Tim the Lyric, and then while I was there, I booked Phantom, so I never went back to Broadway. Yes. But luckily, they did a whole Happy Turns before that.
Have you done Guys and Dolls?
Yes, I did it at Sacramento Music Circus, which is like a 7-day run or something in the round.
Yeah.
And Fast and Furious, and that was 2019. Leslie Margarita was Adelaide. She was amazing. I did it with Carlos. It was fun. But I got lost in a circle, and I went up on that.
What do you mean? No, explain what that means? Lost in
So-
a circle.
so
I haven't been there, but I've heard stories.
Oh yes, so it's fully in the round, and they teach it to you like a clock, and so they're like, okay, so you enter at 3, and then you exit at 6, and then you go through the bomb at 5, and I'm not really great with directions.
Okay, wait, hold on a minute. The circle doesn't move.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't move.
But you have to do your
But you have to do that. But also, the exits are not labeled with the numbers of the clock. They have their own numbers.
Wait a minute.
So if you're at the wrong or entrance, the entrances are all through the house, and usually your dresser is with you. But Sarah and her band entered 20,000 times, and so one night I thought I was at the right door, and I was at the wrong door, and I opened the door, and I was like, "This is the wrong door." The band is like, "Where did you go?" Yes.
What do you have coming up? Do you have anything coming up in 2024? Besides the Newlywed Bliss?
Yes, I don't think I'm at liberty to disclose.
Okay. On the Broadway or on
No, in the regionals.
the region?
Yes.
So some of our.
States, yes. Keep
When
an eye
will we
out.
know?
Hopefully soon. I'll announce them on my Instagram.
Are you on the socials?
Yes.
You have your website?
I do.
Okay, tell people what's your website.
My website is AllieEwald.com, ALIEWOLD. It's got a lot of consonants.com. And that's my Instagram handle.
I was trying to think because we've sung together. We sing together. Was that on Mother's Day? We sing together. Allie and I did on Mother's Day just last year at the Actors Fund Home. And how was it with Gina? Gina Rivera was there.
Oh, it was amazing.
Because what did we sing? We sang
did
West Side Story.
Yeah.
Were you nervous singing tonight in front of her?
I mean, just doing this in front of, Jewish people this month, the whole, it's no big deal. Just stare around right behind me. Don't mind me.
Yeah.
But that was awesome. And my mom was there.
Oh, that's
which was
Both
awesome.
of our moms were there.
Yeah, both of our moms were there, my dad and my brother as well. But it's those moments when, like, you know, like it's hard being a parent in this business, and you're like, look, Tom, see, like I'm here with Cheetah, so like that must mean that I'm doing something.
Were you able to finish your mom? What did you do? You were?
Oh yeah, we got a picture of everything.
Yeah, that was, it's one of those things, like, they're almost like out-of-body experiences in Bangkok. I did West Side Story like 30 years in Los Angeles, right? But then to have that book and to, because I still have the libretto, right?
Yeah.
To look at it with Cheetah,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
and she was like, oh, I remember when that was, you know, and why that was added, and when it was added, and how, and all that. And then to sing in front of her, because we were singing, and here's the audience, and Cheetah was right over there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ali. Well, hopefully that informed our viewers a little bit more. Tell everyone again your website.
Ali Ewald, ALIEWOLDT. So many letters.
Thank you,
Oh my gosh, my pleasure.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, people have been asking about donating. Yes, please, starsinthehouse.com. We don't know which one we're going to do next. The wonderful MTI shows, but we will. And we're working on possibly a really cool venue for the next one. But the aim is to do these every 3-4 weeks. And that's the goal. Let's see what's going on with Seth here. Seth, what do we think? How long is it? Right, which one? Oh, you got it. Oh, yeah, I got it. We have one more song. Okay, let's see. Okay, hold on. Let's see over here. Let's see. We're gonna just peek in here with our viewers in here. Josie, you sound amazing.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
It's true.
I was mortified because I couldn't hit that last note very well. Oh, you were. I'm like, I had this phlegm, and I was like, what's going on? What's going on? But anyway.
I don't think anyone noticed.
Oh, thank you.
How long did you do the show?
2 years.
How long was it? How long were you?
It went on for 2 years and 9 months, if I remember. So it kept going on for a while.
What was your reason for leaving? I always ask that.
I was with someone and we were trying to have a family. And, you know,
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have. In retrospect, I probably shouldn't have.
What was it like to be in it was the hot show?
It was the hot show. It was amazing. You know, I knew you, and I had played Fate's Lover in Ignorant before I got fired. And so thank God when I went in, I was shot out of a cannon. And Fate and Peter were there. And they were like, do whatever you need. And God bless them. And I was fantastic. It's true. Thank you.
Thank you, Josie. All right.
Big number 20.
So you go over there, Max.
And 24A. Okay. 24 into 24A. And this is going to be, yeah. This is a good sight reading challenge. Because I'll tell you right now, the tempo is constant. So it's not about the tempo. We've also played most of these figures either in the song Lauk or in the overture or in Runyon Land or some variation. So again, this is an exercise in, we'll do it twice. We'll just go straight through. First time it's going to be fasten your seatbelt and go. Second time, well, no. First time you'll be able to listen while you're playing. I know you will. Shit. So here's the one challenge. The top of 24 is in 4. Ba, 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 ba. But we go right into half note equals half note, or chord equals whatever it is, twice as fast. Sorry, quarter equals half note, right? Yeah. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Just for what it's worth, I think that's probably the first time that version of Crapshooters has been heard in 60 years. Because in 92, once they did the film, which has a somewhat different version, uses parts of this, it got completely rethought. So in 92, they used the film version, and I think every version since has used something closer to film. You want to do it again? Does it feel like, yeah? Yeah. Okay. So the key with that wood block, you are the dice, right? Or whatever. So roll the dice. So everything is going up towards those dice rolls. Same note that I gave on the song proper. Let's find the dynamics.
Don't let it be. It wants to be aggressive. That's right, because it's full of nervous energy. It's guys in a suit playing for everything. Okay, everything's at stake. That's exactly right. But find the hills and valleys. Yeah. What's that? You know who you are. Okay. Okay. Good. Here we go. Top of 24. In 4. I loved it. I don't know if it's written in the parts, but those swells on the whole notes are great. Drama, you know, drama's good. Here we go. Top of 24. 1, 2, 3, 4. Selection or hymnal is Sit Down and Rockin' Boat.
Yes, everybody's in this, so let's
all right. Are you, who's, yeah? Excellent. What do we want to talk about tonight?
Oh, I was gonna say Atlanta's like one of the ones like that's tough. That's tough. It's a lot of like last gas. It's almost 10 p.m. We're good.
Huh?
So we have Jelani is nicely. Are you ready for this journey?
Nicely. Y'all sound fantastic. You have to understand this. Y'all are truly, this is amazing.
Let me ask you a question. The parts in 57, you all have railroad tracks between beats 3 and 4?
Yes.
Okay. Passengers to heaven. Pow! A great. Okay.
Sorry.
Good. In 179, do you have a, does it say cut time? Do you have a cut time in 179?
We don't have 179. You mean
Sorry, it's page 179 on my score. Bar 86.
No.
Good, okay. There's like a random cut time, but it's over already in cut time. Yes.
Are you prepared?
And that's the final thing I was going to say. Because, okay, hear me out. The song is called Sit Down. So if you're staging the song, what should happen at the end? So if there's no button, when do you sit down? So we're going to add a button for Seth. So let's take the from. So in bar 93, no fermatas whatsoever. We're all going to play the first chord, and then we're going to do brass. Sax. Are you on saxes by then? Yeah. Yes. B wop and to the tonic, which we're in F major, so whatever that means for you. G, D.
Would you mind ready to sit down and rock it because we're doing the ensemble and spinning headache and the orchestra.
Yes, because okay, this is that famous like Frank Lesser Hemiola thing that nobody keeps. Everybody does it, and then everybody does more. So in '92, it actually went on several times. Let's do it. Just rehearse that so we get a nice clean. Devil will drag you under. Here's bar 72. What pitch are you playing? Anna or Devil? Devil will drag you under. Yep. Devil will drag. The famous 9 sharp 11 chord. Yes. So here's bar 72, and let's rehearse the end. We're going to rehearse the button. So no fermatas, just the low button. So circle beat 3. Well, we're in cut time. Circle the 3rd quarter. Yeah, high instruments. So here is bar. What did I say? 72. And this is trying to be conscious of. Sit down, you're rocking the boat. Ba. Sit down, you're rocking. Sit down, sit down, sit down, you're rocking the boat. Ba. Sit down, you're rocking. Sit down, sit down, sit down, you're rocking the boat. Ba. Sit down. Let's all just say that. Even the orchestra. Sit down. So he finishes. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, you're rocking the boat. Sit down, you're rocking. Sit down, sit down, sit down, you're rocking the boat. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, you're rocking the boat. Sit down. Yeah. Should we do that one more time? Yeah. So he's singing. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. You're rocking the boat.
Sit down, you're rocking, sit down, sit down, sit down, you're rocking the boat. Up, sit down, you're rocking, sit down, sit down, sit down, you're rocking the boat. Up, sit down.
And everybody goes up in the hall. It'll work. Let's try that with the orchestra. This point I'm in 2, bar 72. Double 2, 2, and the yeah, go up.
I'm good. You can take it. I'm good.
Good. That actually made sense. Everybody good with that? You get what it is? All right. Lauren, are we okay? Okay.
Put one of those endings that Seth hates.
Yeah, that's what's on the page. Here's an A. I dream. Yeah. So I'm in. What's that? I'm in 4 at the top. Well, so I give the cue.
Tell us in your own words.
I dreamed last night I got on a boat to heaven, and by some chance I had rolled my dice along, and there I stood, and I heard someone thank me, but the passengers, they knew right from wrong. For the people said down you're on the boat. People said down you're on the boat. And the devils argue under, about to drop a bell and you check your flow. Down you're rocking the boat. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I sailed away on that little boat to heaven. By some chance on a bottle in my face, and there I stood, nicely passing out the whiskey, but the passengers were bound to resist. For the people said beware, and the devil's way under. Those passengers to heaven. A great wind can wash me overboard. And as I sang, and I hollered, someone save me. That's the moment I woke up. Thank the Lord. For I said to myself tonight,
How about them?
I have 2 places I want to grab for Mata you're doing. Wash me overboard. Yeah. You're doing that one? Yeah. I thought it was a trumpet.
This starts in the house, let's go.
Hey, everybody in bar 59. Beats 3 and 4 are going to be seriously slower. I hesitate to say a fermata on 3, but just, and then back more to tempo on 60, and the same thing happens. Wait a minute. Yep. Same thing in 35. 35, just the last 2 beats.
Oh, you sound amazing, by the way.
Yes, you do. Good. Anything else you want to try? Sounds great. You just do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Here's your A.
Well, it came to me like a dream, really.
Tell us in your own words.
I dreamed last night I got on a boat to heaven, and by some chance I rolled my dice along, and there I stood, and I hollered, someone fed me, but the passengers there knew. For the people all sat down, they're on the boat. The people all sat down, they're on the boat. And the devil's riding on down, by the sharp of hell of your chicken throat. Down, you're rocking the boat. I sailed away on that little boat to heaven. By some chance on a bodily nicely passing out the whiskey, but the passengers were bound to resist. For the people everywhere, as I laughed at those passengers to heaven, I'll bring you away again. And I hollered, someone save me. That's the moment I woke up. Thank the Lord. For I said to myself
That was crazy scene. So we have like I said, like 7 minutes left. Does anyone in the orchestra want to ask any questions to David or to one of our mentors or any of our maestra singers? Anything for the last couple minutes you want to just ask questions or talk about your experience? Bye.
I'll just say you all are fantastic. And thank you for the energy, for the passion, for the dedication. I know everybody did great work, looking over this, feeling confident. So much of subbing or playing is confidence. As you can tell, I'm a fairly passionate person about music. Be passionate. Make music. Be a good person in a group. That often is the make or break thing. There are a lot of wonderful musicians out there, but being able to play in a group, not just musically, but personality-wise, is so important. And I will tell you, I can't speak for every conductor. mean, I haven't done a regular Broadway show for 10 years now by choice.
Kind of blacklisted.
Yeah.
He said, she said.
He said, yeah. You know, but I spent 20 years conducting pretty much full time. And with very rare exceptions, there was almost never somebody who came in to sub who wasn't good enough. There were people that came in that didn't care enough. Those are the people that I didn't ask back. But the people that cared enough, even if, so I'll give you an example. I told you my first Broadway subbing job was on Guys and Dolls. And Eddie Strauss, who was great, but he used to, you know, the Biltmore Garage wants a grand, but we ain't got a grand on hand. And I remember, you know, I'm not sure, is that the right example? Anyway, there's one place where like the chords don't change. But because the gesture was so strong and I went to the next chord. And it was just so utterly wrong. But I kept doing the show because, I mean, what I'm saying is, yes, you can miss a gig at Radio City, you can sleep in. You can come in the wrong chord. The other show I subbed was Crazy for You, where the piano chair had all the sound effects, like when the phones rang. Scary. And the sound effects notes were way up here. So like it had like, you know, and so you get on the wrong one and it's I did that. Yeah, I mean there were scary things there too. You know, the piano was right under the podium. And you had to go play the beginning, the concerto in F, which was, you know, but you had to be staring like this for the downbeat, and then guess where, you know. So it's not always easy. Well, no, I had glasses back then. Oh, are you kidding? I'm getting cataract surgery sometime. Fun. But you know what keeps shining through is the passion, is the good personness, is the, you know, pits are not easy. You're also rarely going to have a group this large.
We'll see about that. That's one of our missions, to change that shit. It makes me crazy that it's like Sweeney Todd, they have a full orchestra. Right, it's Broadway. Broadway's not a mom and pop nonprofit. That is a big deal. There's a full orchestra. So that's part of my effing mission. Continue.
That's an excellent. Part of the problem, I don't know if you remember this, and you know, which is that when I moved to the city in '90, the first two rows of most musicals were rows AA, BB, or something like that. Those are the rows that have been put on top of what the orchestra pit was. Yeah. So some of that's part of the challenge. And Red Press, God bless him, who was a contractor who passed.
He did Guys and Dolls.
What's that?
He did Guys and Dolls, right?
He did this Guys and Dolls, and Red Press. You know, Red Press was playing in the Army or Navy band in Norfolk when soldiers were going off to war in World War II. Red Press played with Tommy Dorsey. His first Broadway show as a player was Gypsy. So he was,
Daly?
No,
At the Mormon people.
No, but he also used to talk about when they were out of town in New Haven, the pit was shallow, and he could sit where from the angle that he was sitting in the pit, he could just look right, and there was Merman right there singing, you know, 2 feet away, and you could see the audience. If you look at old pictures of pits, it's like you see the bass, you know, coming up out, and that was part of the experience. I think it's no wonder that the shows that most likely get nominated for orchestration are the shows that have the band on stage. Because we're aware. The audience are aware. And you know, thank God for all of these, you know, things like encores, things like this that are bringing, you know, the larger orchestra to prominence, or at least making us aware. And thank God, well, I won't say thank God for Scott Rudin, but he started the trend of doing revivals with the fuller orchestra. And, you know, we came to Broadway at the time when everybody was doing revivals. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Martin Beck, which is now the Al Hirschfeld,
which is where the 92 Guys and Dolls played, I believe had a minimum of 14. So there were only 14 musicians in the band.
Probably.
Or was it 18 then? It's 14 now, I think.
It's smaller and smaller. They keep
Smaller,
losing.
but there was, for 100 years of Broadway, standard was 24, 26.
Yeah.
My Fair Lady had 42 when they opened, and they added 2 violins.
There's this myth that musicians are expensive. It's like, no, custom-made shoes are expensive. Musicians are not expensive. And, you know, there's a David Merrick quote, which I always keep crazy. No, exactly. But I mean, the David Merrick quote, which I always say, but it's really true. And he said, an audience doesn't know what it didn't get, but they do know when they get it. And that's really my mission, is to make an audience go, oh my God, this sounds amazing. But they don't know what a great orchestra sounds like unless they're exposed to it. So people keep posting on the Instagram like, oh my God, this sounds amazing. So I'm hoping that we just bring awareness. I also want to PSA, thank you so much to Muse for doing all this organizational stuff, and Brett, who got sick, and Mary Mitchell Campbell, and also all of our Broadway section leaders who came and helped out just for today night.
What can I do to be better? Because that's really what this is really about. And can I also say thank you to Seth for bringing this project to us and helping us realize this, so that you guys can figure out what it's all about. And I think David just knocked it out.
Oh my God,
There is something wonderful about being able to, this is such a unique thing to be able to stand in the middle of this and experience just music. And you're right that it's a great goal to get the audience to get that too. And that's not just the number of musicians, it's how it's mic'd, it's how it's you know, it's how open is the pit. It's all of these things. And, you know, the more we can keep doing that. Because the other thing too is that what makes live theater different? Why go to live theater as opposed to a movie or to stay at home? It's like, it's the experience of hearing live sound, hearing live music, seeing live people singing, you know, all of these things. You can't get that sitting in front of a TV. So we have to do everything we can to make sure the audience understands how special this experience is.
Oh, I love that. And P.S. I want to thank the ensemble who learned it in rehearsal. Yes, all of our amazing Broadway stars that came and they did the roles. All right, so I guess on the way out, we have to drop off our books, right? Is there any other announcement I need to say on the way out? Oh, we want to try to do a group photo, but we need a helicopter. How do we do it? I mean,
Panoramic.
if we, panoramic? You're young, so of course I have no idea how that works. Like, should all the singers do that? Like, well, panoramic, you get the whole
you just like do a circle.
But why don't all of us go there?
I who's the young person that's going to do a panoramic photo?
I can take
Okay, Max, you're going to do it? Do you want my phone?
Yeah.
Okay, so Max is going to do panoramic photo. What a pleasure. It's a quick 20 pounds.
You want to, yeah, keep going.
Okay.
And then I'll go.
Great.
All right.
I mean, when we did the cast report, were you part of it? Because Red Presses, he does that saxophone solo. If you ever want to see
Find a spot. I love that I was like, playing games. Okay, what do we look at? Here we go. Next.
Okay, everybody. Stay still out, and then you won't get blurry. So where is our focus point? Just where I am when I reach you.
Okay, so don't move or it's gonna get blurry.
Yeah. Okay, so
I guess
everybody shut down
everybody should look
emotionally.
straight out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, shut down emotionally.
Yeah, right there you go. Grizzled bits. Guys and dolls.
Don't think.
Shuffle them all.
Fantastic.
How is that possibly going to be a picture?
Right. Well, you just ruined it.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Wait a minute. I've never seen anything better.
See?
Try one more time. That was amazing. I just never seen anything like that. Hold on. Let me show how amazing that was.
Second take.
Freeze frame.
And go. Here it goes.
Get in the picture. Get in the picture.
I mean, that's supposed to move your mouth.
Apparently, stage right there.
Hey everybody. Did you have a good time? I did. I think they did.
Well, there we are. Thank you, everyone. This was such an amazing experience. We've got dogs to walk. Remember those dogs? Those of you who watch Stars in the House, Mandy and Bagel, got to get home. Thank you, everyone. Next time, thank you for all the feedback. And we will be doing this again. Thank you, Muse. Thank you, just everyone who participated. This was a really special night, and thank you for joining us. All right, I'll see you next time.